let's go.
Alrighty.
All right, let's see. Everything up. YouTube's up. Twitch is up. All right. Looks like we're good. You ready, Con?
Yep, I'm ready.
All right. Well, hello there, everybody. Welcome.
Hello.
Let's see. We're finally back after, I think it's been a couple weeks now. I've been on vacation and
Two?
also a little
I think
sick.
2 weeks.
I think you've also caught a little bit of a cold too, right? From what you've been saying.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, more like a sore throat. I didn't really have cold, but
Okay.
my throat is definitely taking a hit, as you guys can probably hear.
Yeah, and my sinuses are all a mess, so we're both kind of congested a bit, but we'll make it through because I know there's a couple of things that we wanted to talk about and just get back together again.
And I hope you guys enjoy the talk and as we discuss about things and share our views on it.
Yep.
And we'll even react to a video today. Well, maybe not. Maybe more than one. We'll see.
Right. Because you wanted to show off some of the new Wuthering Waves stuff and everything. Try to get me back into it. So,
I mean, look, the game is improving. I need to share it to my friends so I can get them back. Yes, and have friends to play with.
Yep. All for that. Oh. All right, so let's hope this. Maybe we'll make it a little bit of a shorter stream today since we're both not super well, but we'll see. But yeah, so I guess first I'll kind of talk about my stuff because I've been on, like I said, I was on vacation going down actually for a wedding, which was actually really fun because I got to be a groomsman for the wedding, which was the first time doing that.
I hope it went well. I hope it didn't end up like one of those comedy show where you tripped up and the ring was gone or crashed the wedding.
Okay, so we actually joked. So I wasn't the best man, luckily enough, but we did kind of joke about that a little bit at the wedding. But it was, it was actually interesting because I got to down to the venue I think a day or so before everyone else because when I was looking for flights, it was so annoying. Because flight times are such a pain nowadays, it feels like. And so the only time I could get on the day before the wedding was right at 5 or 6 or something in the evening. And that was the time that I needed to be there for the rehearsal dinner. So it's I couldn't find an earlier flight or anything. So I just had to show up the day before. But I rented out a car and stuff, which was good. Because we were, I was able to drive around the other groomsmen and everything and kind of help out, some of the preparation and everything. Which, man, one of the guys at the, one of the groomsmen, we all rented out our tuxes from, what is it? Men's Warehouse. Which, have you ever rented out a tux from them before? Or?
I never really rent one, but I used to have a tux for my own graduations. Yes.
Well, I will say that Men's Warehouse does it really well because you can rent or you can get your measurements and everything and rent it out from one place, pick it up at another location, and then drop it off at a completely other location too. They're all kind of connected and interwoven together. So I ended up, it's I got my measurements and stuff up here where I am. And then when I went down to the wedding, that's where I picked it up and dropped it off. But that was super convenient. But one of the groomsmen, his tux wasn't for some reason they messed up the length on one of his legs. I don't know how they do it, but one leg was super long compared to the other one. So they had to go back and get that tailored right before the wedding. So that one was cutting it close, but we were able to get that done and everything. We were a little bit late to the rehearsal
dinner
because of that, but everyone else was also late too. So at the end, even though we were not there on time, we were still earlier than everyone else. So
wow,
so it worked out.
Lucky.
It worked out.
It's not late if everyone else is late.
Right. Which was actually funny too, because on the wedding itself, it started a little bit later because the priest that was supposed to do the wedding, he got the time wrong. He thought it was supposed to be an
so
hour
he's also
later.
late.
Yeah.
Wow, even the priest is late.
Mm.
That's kind of crazy. It's not like everyone is late. It's just like it's amazing. I didn't expect that, honestly.
Which I know he felt really bad because he was like a family friend and everything, and he just got the time off just by an hour, but he was able to rush over and we got it going, so that was good.
He can blame it on the daylight saving. Like,
well, not quite. It hadn't happened yet, but
oh damn it! See, if it had happened, you'd be like, "Oh, it's a daylight saving. I wasn't late."
Right. Forgot to set my clock back or whatever.
Yeah.
Mate, can you imagine setting your wedding on like daylight savings or something? That would have been.
Well, you know what? Maybe I should do that just to troll with my people, like just my friends and family. So like, yeah, everyone's gonna come and be like, what are you guys doing? Like the wedding's done already.
But yeah, no. Outside of that though, the ceremony was nice. Like, I did have to stand the whole entire time, which I felt really bad for because I don't know. I was getting like tired and stuff, and I know there were a couple of times where I accidentally caught myself yawning. I'm like, oh crap. And because there's all the cameras and stuff going on, I'm like, I really hope like on the video or the camera, they didn't catch me like yawning or fidgeting or anything. But because they had us like standing for the whole like 40 minutes or so for the wedding. I was like, really being mean to us. But
that reminds me of like back in the school days when you're like having like the salute to like the flag and everything, sing like the national anthem and just like stand there under the sun. See, that happens to me.
Luckily,
I don't
you
know
were
if it
inside there,
happens
so.
right here. Oh yeah. I mean, obviously, like it would be bad if it's like an outside wedding and it's like all sunny or like even worse, like raining.
But yeah, it's like, and it was funny too because the groomsman, or not the groomsman, the best man too. Like he said, he was thinking about maybe joking to pull out the ring for a little bit and be like, maybe go for a different pocket or something. But he didn't do that. Although he did almost he almost couldn't find the other ring for a second. Like he almost like his heart. He said his heart almost dropped when he couldn't quite find it. But luckily he got it, and the ceremony, everything went well. And then afterwards, like, I was really proud of the best man because he was the only one that, like, after the wedding, the best man always gives a speech. And he was the only one out of all the people that gave speeches that actually, like, memorized his speech. Everyone else was, like, reading off their phone or, like, had note cards and stuff. And I'm like, come on. That's kind of lame, right? So...
Yeah, I mean, like I've never been one. Like even if I couldn't remember things, I usually not one to like bring notes to begin with. So if he actually remembers the whole thing, I think it might be better.
Yeah, no, he did, and it was really good. So like that was great, and then, okay, here's the thing, Con. So I want to get your opinion on this because something weird happened in the like after party for the wedding that I've never seen before at a wedding. And I wanted to see if you've heard of this or not. So, like how the bride, she throws like her bouquet of flowers and everything behind her, and like the girls, pick up, get the flower, and then whoever gets it is supposed to get like married next or whatever. Do you know that there's a male version of that?
No, I didn't. What?
Okay.
There is?
And do you want to know what the male version is and what they throw?
I hope it's not throwing the cake.
No. So the male version is the bride, or not the bride, the groom goes under the wife's dress, gets her garter belt, and then throws that behind for the other like guys to go and pick up.
Wait, what?
And I was like, what is this? Like, I've never seen this before. And everyone's like, no, that's normal. It's completely normal and everything. I'm like, no, I've been to weddings before. I've never seen this before, but...
Never been to this kind of wedding? What the hell?
But no, it was like just so weird seeing my friend go under, like he went under there, picked up, and then he threw it out behind for all of us. And it's like, and people are like, oh, you should go up there and do it. I'm like, I really don't want to, but I went up there to make him like just kind of make him happy. But I positioned myself to be like, okay, it's a piece of fabric. It's not going to go far. So I'm going to be close enough to where it looks like I'm at least engaged, but not close enough to where it'll actually get to me. So I didn't get it, but I was like, that's such a weird tradition that I have never heard of before. And I just wanted to know if that's like a common thing or, yeah.
I mean, even the bouquet of flower itself, like,
that's more normal.
Yeah, but that's like, I feel like that's a Western thing. I don't think like in like
is it?
So my weddings are usually Chinese wedding, and we don't have that. We usually have the ones where like we would pour like champagne on the top glass, like, and let it like flow to like the glasses below it. Or like cutting the cake like with the sword, like with both like with together with the bride and stuff like that. I don't think we have like ones where like they would throw bouquet of flowers. At least I never experienced it.
Okay. Yeah.
At least I knew
so I'm
it
just like
existed.
Googling it right now for the garter belt thing, and yeah, apparently it's a thing, but I can't see like why it was even started. Because it's just so weird.
That's kind of crazy. Like, that's a knowledge I never thought I would ever get.
Yeah, so
honestly.
I mean, I guess if you want to do that for your wedding, you know, go take your wife's to be garter belt off and just throw it to
no, I'll
bunch
keep
of random
hers to myself. I keep the garter belt to myself. I'm like, no, she's mine. Fuck y'all.
But yeah, it's like outside of that though, everything else went pretty well and everything. And I went and visited my parents for like the next day afterwards, just to kind of, you know, say hi and everything, and then went back home. And then I'm pretty sure it's the flight back that I got sick on, because on my flight back, I don't know what it was, but the first flight that I had, it was like one of those like big planes that has like the middle aisle and everything in it. And for whatever reason, they had the AC cranked up on this thing, like maxed out. And even though I turned my AC off and, you know, the people around me off, I was still getting hit with cold air nonstop. And everybody in our row was like freezing to death, and we had no idea what was going on. So like for like 3 hours we were freezing. And then about like maybe 30 minutes before we landed, they decided to turn the heat on.
What?
And so it's like
what the hell is going on?
Yeah, so it's like we're getting blasted with cold air forever. Then we get blasted with hot air for like the very end of the trip, and then it's just like, oh.
That is so crazy. I never had that happen. Like granted, like I live in like a you know, a 2-season country, so like it's always cold air. It's always cold. No one wants the heater on ever.
Yeah, because it's
you know, and personally, I would rather be cold and like smelling people's sweat and stuff. So like, yeah, I accepted that as like, you know, part of like the flight life, you know. But
yeah, it's like I'm pretty sure like that got me sick. And then when I got back home, it was like 12 o'clock, or like not 12 like lunch, but like 12 midnight. And I was going to go and like call in just like sick or something, or not sick, but you know, like take the day off so I could rest, because the flight got delayed and everything. So, you know, I was just going to get some sleep. But then when I logged on and checked my computer, work was like, oh yeah, by the way, there's a production incident that we need you to check up in the morning. I'm like, oh, God damn it.
Should have said,
so I was like, I had to work through
sick like the day before.
Yeah. So I had to work through all of that. And then by the time I finished resolving that production issue, like in the, you know, the following day, that's when I was like, yep, I'm sick. I could feel it. I was like, yeah, I'm sick. And that's where I had to like cancel.
Day off after?
No, I actually it didn't end up like taking too much. Like, I don't think I did take a day off last week, but it was a very, like after that time, it was a very kind of light week. So I just kind of rested a little bit, and then, you know, still took a half day on Friday. So.
I see. Lucky.
So yeah, I still have my, the one, because they give us like one free day at work to just like a floating holiday, I think is what they call it. So I'll probably say that for like Wednesday of Thanksgiving, and just get that like have Wednesday, Thursday, Friday off.
Wow, how nice.
Yeah, because my company's now giving off Black Friday too.
That's
Is
kind of
very
crazy.
Nice. Yeah.
Bro, what the fuck? Not mine. No, actually.
Do you at least get Thanksgiving or?
It's like there's like 3 big holidays and like
Mhm.
everyone has to work at least one of them. So like sometimes
okay.
people get it get scheduled for like Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
Other people get scheduled for like Thanksgiving or New
Gotcha,
Year.
gotcha.
So like yeah, so like you're gonna have to work one of them either way. But like for me, it doesn't really matter. But like it doesn't matter like the day. Like I didn't need the day off to like like celebrate or anything. I just like having day off.
Yes. Oh,
Like doesn't even
Who
have to be
doesn't?
that day. Yeah, it doesn't even
Mhm.
have to be that. If anything, I would love to work on like the actual days off because like you get extra pay.
Ooh, yeah,
So
that's true.
I would
that's
rather
true.
work on that day off and then be off the day after or something.
Hmm. But yeah, that
So,
was pretty
yeah.
much my trip, and then me being sick for the past, I guess, kind of 2 weeks. Oh, because like right now, it's like I don't feel sick. It's just I'm very stuffed up. So hopefully that'll go away at some point. But yeah, that's and you're sick too.
Yeah. Except like instead of like me getting sick because of like travel, I get sick because of work.
Yeah.
So like everyone in my place at work was getting sick. I was usually fine. I was only started feeling things after my dad was sick.
Ooh, okay. Like when your family.
So my dad,
Yeah.
yeah, my dad got sick. I was fine, and then towards the end, when my dad was about to like be like recover, I was getting sick, and then after that, like it was overall fine. Like it was mostly just like coughing, and like I have like my throat feels like kind of like tingly, so I keep coughing.
Gotcha. Like that's funny though, because that kind of reminds me of like whenever, like when I was living with my parents when I was in college and stuff, because like my mom was a teacher, and it's like I would always be pretty healthy and stuff at school, but then my mom would get just like sick all the time because she was had great kids, and I would feel fine, but then sometimes I would, like after she got done being sick, I would get her cold and everything. I was like, oh great.
Just transferred.
Right. It's like the
Called,
problem
like,
with being with the family.
It's the family legacy.
Yep.
They're leaving behind their sickness. No, yeah. Like it's mainly just my voice. Like I couldn't really, talking. Like I sound different when I'm I couldn't speak too loudly. And like I couldn't even like when I'm singing, like the voice gets distorted because obviously your throat is sore.
Yep.
But other than that, I was fine. I was still working and everything like that. But yeah, maybe maybe I probably would have rather not be working because this weekend was ass. I wish I have like an actual reason to just be like, hey, I'm gonna take my day. I'm gonna take the day off now, while everyone was in shambles.
Do you have like sick days, or are they all like just vacation days or
vacation
time off?
days?
Yeah,
But like
yeah.
if I'm sick, I can tell them like, hey, I'm sick, so like I'm gonna take like
Yep,
the
yep.
problem with like just not coming to work is not really the workplace. The workplace is pretty understanding, but like it's just my parents.
Oh,
They really they wouldn't, like, if I can still walk, they would not let me like be at home unless like it's like a well-being, like.
okay. Gotcha.
So but like well-being, you only get like 5 every year. So like I would rather like save those, because like those are like official, like where you can do it like anytime. Like if you doesn't matter if you're sick or like if you feel like you want to like take the day off, you can just tell them, and like they'll have to accept it because like it's part of like the state rules. But like if you're saying you're sick, you can use like your actual like vacation time.
Gotcha.
Which is like harder to use because like vacation time usually you gotta request it before the schedules are made and stuff like that.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
So like basically well-being is more flexible to use. So like you would rather like have that like saved up.
Mm. And just kind of use it all at once and save yourself some requests and.
Yep. But yeah, my parents would never let me even like it's just like back in the school days. Like if I'm not actually sick,
right, they're gonna stop.
yeah, they would be like, "You're not sick. Like, why would you like not come to work? Go to work."
Although it was always kind of funny, like with me, because it's like apparently my mom always says like I have a very high like pain tolerance and everything, and I didn't quite believe that until like, you know, after I got into like some bad accidents and stuff and didn't really suffer much pain. But like my mom said, like she found that out like when I was younger and stuff, because like, you know, my siblings and stuff would always be like, oh, you know, I feel sick or whatever, and they would have like these like slight fever, you know, like not even like a point up or something on the thermometer. But then whenever I would be like sick, it's like she wouldn't even need to touch the thermometer. She would just put her hand on my head and like it would be like melting and everything. So like she always knew like whenever I complained about being sick, I was sick.
It's bad.
And then but she would always question my siblings and stuff. So
it's the same for me too. Usually when I'm sick, like my parents immediately knew I'm sick because like I definitely like I immediately like look different. Like
yeah, exactly.
Usually sound different too. Yeah, like the difference is obvious because I rarely get sick, if at all.
It's like, well, oh, what did I feel like? My mom had a phrase for that too, where it's like you're not, it's like you're not a graceful sick person or something. It's like when you're sick, people know that you're sick. It's like, yeah.
The hell you mean graceful? That's the whole point is that like people knew you're sick, so you can like, you know, they can avoid you and send you home.
Right.
The whole point, like if I'm graceful and like I can show it and then I infect everyone, that's like a bad news.
Oh, yeah, you gotta be manly and bear with it, kind of.
I did. Like the first time I got sick, I was down with fever. I still get my job done though.
No, yeah,
but people can definitely see I was like dragging myself through the floor. I was like, yeah, no. Like people was like, "Are you okay?" And I'm like, yeah. I'm fine. I'll make it. I'll make it.
I'm good.
I didn't even say I didn't even say I was good or like I was fine. I was like I just said like I'll make it. That's all I said because like back then I was like early on during the time I was started working, so like I don't have day off to like take.
Okay.
So like I gotta do this. I gotta make it true, and then like the moment like thankfully like tomorrow, like the day after that was like my day off, so like I actually get to like rest after that.
Nice.
Like I went home and I just sleep. I wake up in the afternoon the day after, and I was way better. Like I can actually move. Like the day before, I was dreading because it was bad. I was on fever and everything, but like it's also winter outside, so like when like it's my body was so warm that I can walk outside on like in the winter and feel fine because like it was so warm for me.
I will say like that's one thing where it's like I knew I was sick one day, like last week on like Tuesday or something, because like when I went to bed in like my hoodie, my like long pajama pants, you know, socks and everything. Whereas like normally I'm just sleeping in like boxers and a shirt, right? So it's like I'm all bundled up, you know, I'm doing the whole like trying to sweat out the illness and everything, but
that's definitely a big sign.
Yeah, so it's like yeah. If I'm able to sleep like this, then something's definitely wrong. But at least now we're both at the end of it, so just gotta get over this last little hump.
Yeah, hopefully I can actually fully recover, you know, and trying to work with some stuff that requires my voice, and can't really do it if my voice sounds like this. So yeah, I'm looking forward to like getting it done so I can actually finish on the project.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Trying to get it done by the end of the year, or?
I mean, it doesn't have any fixed deadline. It's just a personal project, but I do want to get it done like while I'm still passionate about it, and I still have like inspiration about it, because like I don't want to like lose it and then like can get back to it because I lost the inspiration and stuff.
Gotcha.
But Yeah. So, where do you want to go with this? Do you want to like start off with like the Wuthering Waves first, or do you want to start with like the Failguard controversy, or maybe you want to start
Let's
with
go through
something like
some Weather and Waves. Yeah.
okay,
So
he
hang
wants
on,
to
let me
start with like
see.
something light and like happy.
Because I think.
And I figured I figured I'd ask just in case you want to be like go with the bad news first and then good news after.
Nah, that's a good question. What do you normally prefer? Do you like the bad news first or the good news first? Because
I personally prefer bad news first because my motto is usually get the problem like set aside first, like everything done, and then I enjoy myself.
I kind of like hearing the good news because sometimes when people have bad news and they try to put it with good news, the good news isn't usually that great.
Yeah,
So
like
it's-
it really depends, right? If I'm feeling bad already, obviously, like hearing the bad news first doesn't really like inspire confidence and stuff. But like in general, like even like during work and stuff, I would rather like get the work done first, like suffer for a bit and then enjoy myself after. Is how I see it.
Gotcha.
But yeah, let's go with Wuthering Waves. We do have some trailers that I have never seen before. Well, not that I mean, it just came out like 2 days ago, but I haven't seen it yet, and I believe
Okay.
Mr. Sequel has yet to see it, considering it's 2 days ago.
Well, I've seen, I think, this 1.4 official one, or at least the cinematic parts of it. I don't think I saw any of the event stuff at the end.
Oh,
but...
because like they had two videos. They had this video, official trailer, which like comes out 2 days ago, and then like the other one is like the Camellia teaser video, which is like 5 days ago or something.
I don't know if I've seen that, but
You haven't
from the stuff I did see from Camellia, like she looks really cool. Like,
oh yeah, but
the
like
fact that she's
the so the teaser is less of like her gameplay. It's more
like
just like
her, right?
Yeah, it's
like
more
her
just
and
her
stuff.
No, it's just her character teasing us, like literal
literally
like, teaser.
teasing. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So let me try to find it, and then we should watch that first, then, like before we watch before we actually watch the actual
you
trailer.
to figure out.
Yep, I'm trying to figure everything out right now. Let's see. Message. See that one? This one I already watched, so like my reaction is probably not gonna be as like. I wouldn't be as amazed. Leave activity. No. How do you change video on this thing?
I don't like right now. We're using the YouTube
this.
like share thing in Discord, so
Yeah, no.
I think we've only
Here
used it like once or twice before. So bear with us as we try to.
Here we
Oh,
go.
here we go.
Yep, I got the thing going.
Oh, hang on.
Let me see if I can show people how it looks. Okay, I hope this works now. Can you see it?
Yep, I can see it.
Alrighty.
Right in the Kura Games logo.
Yeah, well, now let's get to it. Where's the Discord? And go.
Oh, is this the real ice that you were talking about?
Yeah.
Okay, interesting. That's
See,
such an old alarm.
I know, right?
Oh,
Like-
it's going back. Okay.
First of all, like the plushies are really cute.
They are.
And I just find it surprising, like if you look at what he does, he just drinks water and then like playing
Did it even
games.
go away?
No, he just like drinks water and start playing game like 8 a.m. in the morning. Look at that. Like,
That's
he just
pretty
started
early.
playing.
Yeah. But
I
why
was
on
like,
the phone?
dude.
Why on the phone? Okay, so who's the main character? Oh. Okay, okay.
It's
Yeah, this is the 4-star character, right? Yeah.
which one?
That's just speaking.
Oh no, it's like NPCs. Well, actually, it's like a mix of like people's like
Yeah,
characters'
yeah.
voiceovers.
Oh, and then he's stuck in like a Groundhog Day. Oh, jeez. Oh, it is.
It's been a while, my sweet seed of fate. How did I manage to reach you? Take a guess.
See, it is much more amazing if you watch it on the
Boredom's killing
phone.
me. When will you join me for some fun in the Black Shores?
Like if you watch on a phone and it's full screen.
What's that look on your
It
face?
would probably look real good,
I've
yeah.
always had eyes for you.
Yeah.
The immense power overflowing from that sharp blade of yours. I've always wanted myself.
Oh.
So I can't touch you.
Oh, thank God.
You're not on this side.
This video is like designed for phones. Like if you put it on the phone, it actually looks like your phone is cracking.
Dude, that would scare me.
Yeah.
We'll meet again soon.
Yeah, he is quite literally second Groundhog Day. Oh. It's like this part feels like very VR-ish, you know?
Yeah, yeah. It feels like he like it doesn't feel real, like real perspective. But yeah,
But that was pretty cool. I didn't see that one.
people really liked like the teaser, like the Camellia teaser.
Hmm.
So that video, I feel like it's a good video. It's like it's actually a good direction for their marketing in general.
Mm-hmm.
Because they're actually starting making like contents that are like has like appeals on it, you know, because like people doesn't need to know the context of the game or everything like that, you know. You can show it to like a random people that likes, you know, a random weeb that likes anime and never played the game, and just be like, hey, watch this. And like they probably would get interested.
Yeah, definitely. Like there's some weird stuff in there, right? That could draw you in, make you question.
Yeah. And like also that's not even like, you know, it's a teaser to a trailer, because like they show the actual trailer at the end of it, so it's not even like the actual trailer. But it definitely like it's like a good marketing move, like to get people interested in the game.
Mm-hmm.
So this is like the actual trailer now.
Yeah.
Breaks into world.
Yeah, this one I think I've seen. Let's see.
Everything, or did you only see like the?
Solaris.
At least this, the cinematic parts of it.
I haven't had any dreams. It's not all that different from reality. Need to send some mail.
Her hair's very weird.
Oh yeah. But I really like her design. Actually.
She's very cool for a 4-star, I will say that.
I heard she has a different like combat mechanics. Like, let me pause for a bit. So like I heard like if you dodge with her, instead of like dodging, the character like dashes forward.
Oh, okay.
So like the way she dodges is different than other people. So like when you dodge with another character, you kind of like do the slow motion like somersault.
Backflip. Yeah.
Yeah, the backflip. But like for her, she dashes forward and she moves like super fast. It's kind of like imagine like if you're trying to like super like fast evade something like that.
Gotcha.
Like in the action movies.
Which means she's probably gonna be fun exploring then.
Yeah, and like I kind of like the characteristic, like the hamster, the big fat hamster.
They can't be cured, can they?
See, like, her combat looks really cool.
Oh, yeah. She kind of looks like Jian's combat, where like she hits multiple times, especially when she's like spins.
Hmm. Like, that is just so cool. Like, from the sky and everything. Yeah, yeah.
Turns into Spider-Man.
Don't run. Keep the dance going.
See, I want to see
Like a
if she's
circus
actually
performer is kind of
mad.
what
While
that.
I was in the medical
Yeah.
pod, you saw those possible iterations of history too?
It's the correct timeline juncture. Initiating jump now.
This is a dream.
See, judging by like the trailer so far, it looks like the game has like the whole like multiverse thingy. Like,
Yeah.
not like multiverse, like alternate timeline stuff.
You see, that's why I couldn't quite get if it was actual like ultra timelines or if it's just like related to whatever's going on with this like dream world thing that they're doing.
Well, see, the thing is, the game has always been related to time, right? With the whole like, especially like if you play like the Jinsei quest, like the Thaw of Eons, you know, like the
Okay,
dragon
okay.
can literally like control time,
Right, right.
and like that was supposed to be part of your power because like the dragon told you that like when they left you, like when you left them to like guard Jinzhou, you give them some of your power. So like, you bestow them the power. So like technically, you're supposed to be like controlling time and space. So in a way, like since like it's always been like related to time, you know, I can see it being.
Oh, hello there,
possible for it
Daikon.
to be.
Thank you for the follow. Thank you.
Hello. Thank you for following Mr. Sequel here.
Yep.
But yeah, since it's like time related, you know, alternate timeline doesn't seem to be like a
There
like far-fetched topic.
we go. Okay.
And the dream can be used in a way to like show the different timeline, right? For example, like, you know, you fell asleep and then you dream of like like what could have been and what could have happened and stuff like that. Or like maybe the timeline like intertwines and like so people as on this timeline dreams about like the other timeline, you know, their other version and stuff like that.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what they could do because you could very easily mess up the multiple timeline stuff, but
Yeah,
we'll
they
see.
they could cause problem and they could definitely like retcon some stuff. And like, but like, you know, the game just started. There isn't much to retcon so far.
Right. True.
It's still not that convoluted just yet. But yeah, we should
Also,
continue
welcome,
with,
Air.
with every.
And thank you.
I really like how like they like put all the other characters to use too.
We'll all die one day. Might as well dance and live it up while we can.
Her red hair version's very cool. I will say that.
Oh yeah.
I want to serve you. Make me your bloom bearer.
Oh, I think that's
So
a
who's
teaser for a
that?
different character. Yeah.
And then I kind of stopped after this. So I didn't see what all the events and everything would be.
Okay. We can go through like one by one, like the event. So for example, the Somnium Labyrinth, I think it's gonna be basically like, do you know the elusive realm? It's gonna be something like that, but it's gonna be permanent. So like it's gonna exist all the time. You can always come back to it. And then they also like you see like the pink sword there in the picture. It's basically a weapon skin. You can do transmog on the weapons now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So you
I
can
think I
go
heard of that, so that's
transparent with
pretty
the
cool.
weapon too. Yeah. So like if you do the event, you can get the skin where like the weapon turns into like transparent or like semi-transparent.
Okay.
Except for Calcharo though, it's so bizarre. I think it's because Calcharo is part of like a mercenary team group, right? So it makes sense if he's not in the area.
Yeah,
It makes sense.
like,
At the same time, I'm disappointed.
because him and the other
Danjin.
red hair girl,
Danjin, yeah.
Dajin, yeah. Those two are never like in any story, but
Yeah,
hopefully they'll fix that.
I'm still really like, I'm annoyed. I wouldn't say I'm pissed. I'm definitely annoyed because like we need more story on like the character that exists right now before the game gets too like bloated with character and like it's hard to revisit them. So we should, which like I think they should expand on what they have right now first.
Yeah, it's like everyone wants to know what Kaltaro's story is, and they're just
Yeah, but
They're keeping
also
us-
the game is about to be 2.0 at the end of the year, December.
oh really? Okay, I didn't realize they were going that quickly into.
No, they already said 1.4 is the last one
okay,
for 1 point, and it's gonna be 2.0 because they like as I think I've said it like I think a couple videos ago that like they had a lot of like big updates that they want to do, but they don't really want to like blow like the patch updates, so they just want to do like a big overhaul in the 2.0.
Ah, gotcha.
So they want to finish what they have right now and then like
and
go
no
to
worries
like, the big
there.
overhaul in 2.0.
I hate it when that happens to me too.
That's what they say. But yeah.
Hmm. Okay. So they've got this.
And this is the
There's-
Somnium
yep.
Labyrinth. It definitely looks like the old Elusive Realm.
It looks very cool though.
Oh yeah, I'm looking forward to taking photos in there. Hopefully you can do it.
Hmm.
It's like it's like it seems like a big area that you can like see like explore.
Right,
around.
right.
And there's also
oh,
that,
the team
that's-
attacks. Yeah, I did see this.
Yeah. It's called Dreamling or something. It's gonna be like limited to like this area for now. They
Hmm.
might add it to like the actual gameplay later on.
Okay.
But yeah, the transmog is called like weapon projection. There we go.
It's
You
like,
can change
why
on the
can't
weapon
everyone
levels.
just call it transmog? I wish.
I mean, it's fine, right? Having their own name,
Hmm.
like that is like fit the lore in the game,
yeah.
I think it's fine.
just-
as long as they actually explain it. You know.
hmm.
Oh, okay, wait. This is the depth of the Elusive Realm. That's the actual Elusive Realm update, I guess. New areas. See, I really like the new areas that they added. I wish you can go back into it and take photos in it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, cause like
It
I don't
looks-
know
that
if you
train
I don't know
looked-
if you played Warframe. Wait, what? The train?
I haven't
Oh,
played
yeah.
Warframe. Yeah.
If you never played Warframe, they had a feature called like Captura. You can basically like buy the maps and then return to it to like take photos and like pose around and stuff like that.
Oh, nice. Okay.
I wish you can just do that on like games with like good map design like this.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, the train looks like this. See, you're surprised by it because you didn't play the story yet. Like this scene kind of happens.
is
in,
it
like,
explained?
the
Okay,
current
okay.
current no not explained. It's like kind of happens. So like it's not a one-time thing.
I
It
gotcha.
shows up on
Okay,
the
okay.
story before. Yeah. And then the new Echo.
Okay.
Well,
It's kind of
this
like a
guy
different.
already. Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah, it's like the
The login bonus. Yep.
Well, the login bonus is like just like usual. You know, I
Hmm.
always appreciate free 10 polls. New companion story. So she also got a new companion story. And then like, what is this? To encourage lodgers probably present beyond the waves, participate and upload your
Looks like
adventure
just like
logs to
a
the
side
lower-
event.
Okay, yeah, I was expecting something else. Okay,
And
this
it's
is
like
basically
extra
boss
drops
fights.
and everything. Yep.
Yeah, no, tactical simulacra is like boss fights, like event boss fights.
Okay.
I think this is actual side quests. Combat simulation program has gone viral. Danger Metaverse. Yeah, I think this is an actual like new event. I never seen that at least.
Hmm.
Wait. the
So
video
when
is
does
paused.
when does this new update come out? Is it next week or
Next week?
Okay.
Next week. So you still got like 7 days, exactly 7 days starting from today, to log in and get the daily login for like this patch.
Someone.
So I'll probably I'll try to do that then, and then I still got to catch up on ZZZ too because I've kind of fallen behind on that as well. And so
See, I'm not
I've fallen
really
behind
sure
on a
what
lot of
happened
stuff.
on
So
Yeah, I don't blame you. I mean, technically, if you want to catch up, probably the best game to catch up is like Star Rail and like in this game, because this game is updating next week, and then ZZZ after, because ZZZ just updated today, so technically you already missed everything that it's like before. Because
But,
the
like-
Yanagi update happened like today, like right now.
Yeah. But it's like, I don't know. I'm just not interested. Like the Star Rail story, like I'm just not interested in what's going on with the with
the
like the
side
whole
stories?
academy and everything. Yeah, it's like I
didn't
might
even know
wait
what's going
for-
on.
We're like going to this weird like monkey academy thing. It didn't interest me when I saw the trailer, but maybe somebody will say it's actually really good. It just
Really?
seemed, it
And
seemed
there's an
very much like a
academy and
side
everything?
patch.
Oh, I just saw the Rappa.
The what?
The,
Oh,
like,
the rapper. Yeah, rapper.
the
Mhm.
ninja. So like that's the only thing that I know. I didn't know like you're supposed to be going to like
You're going
the
to, like,
whole
Penacony.
academy and like
Yeah.
singing banana. I saw the memes and like I don't
Mhm.
understand the whole like banana like memes and everything because I didn't really pay attention to Star Rail ever since like the face shot thing. Kind of gave up in the game.
So
In a way.
I'm just kind of waiting until really the next world. Hopefully, we'll go to the next world soon.
I mean, they've been teasing it for a while now, right? I
They
think
have,
we're
have.
getting closer. And like, it's already the end of the year. I think like the new world is not that far off. I'm assuming it's gonna be like early next
Mhm.
year. That's what I think. For
Yeah,
now,
it
I'm more
definitely should
excited on
be.
like
Hmm.
I'm personally more excited on like Wuwa because like the new area. Like last time we already talked about how they're teasing a new area already,
Mhm.
and it's looking really good so far.
It is.
With every update, the game has been looking better. The performance, I heard like good things about like the
Ooh.
performance optimization. People have been able to play the game better.
That's right.
I mean,
Air
I don't
also
know.
mentioned in Star Rail that they're supposed to have like the fake characters coming up in 3.0.
Really?
Mm.
Oh yeah, because like they had the whole collab thing.
Right.
Well, speaking of collab, like a side tangent,
Mm-hmm.
I started playing Punishing Grey Raven because I saw the whole Punishing Grey Raven / Devil May Cry collab.
Oh, really? Okay.
It's
I
coming
didn't
next.
realize.
Apparently, yeah, it's coming like. Apparently, people said it's coming like in a year and a half though.
Because they did one with Nier, didn't they? A while
They
back.
did so they did one with Nier last
Mhm.
year, and they did one with Black Rock Shooter, and I missed that by like literal days. Like I
Black
didn't get-
Rock
I
Shooter.
didn't-
Okay.
yeah, I didn't get high
That's-
enough level to actually start playing the event because like the
Mm.
day the event ends is the day I reach the level required to play it.
Because that's the Hatsune Miku thing, right?
Yeah, the Hatsune Miku thingy. Yeah, but like, yeah, I couldn't get the character. I got the skin, but I couldn't like, because the skin is just, you just swipe and buy it. But
Mhm.
like I couldn't get the character,
Ooh.
and apparently collab character doesn't come back, and I'm like, what,
Oh,
what,
so
what
do
am
you
I
have the
supposed to do with
skin
it?
for a character you
I
can't
have
even
the
use?
Yeah, I have the skin, but I didn't see. I at first I thought it was a skin for a character that looks like the Black Rock Shooter character.
Mhm.
But no, it's the skin for the actual character. I was like, wait, this is for like the. Why can't you even purchase this if I cannot get the character?
Mm.
I was so disappointed. But I kind of want to see how like they're gonna adapt like the whole, because like people always said PGR combat is really good. I gave it a try. So far, it's not that good so far.
Hmm. Well, I've heard
Honestly
it's like a lot of
speaking.
like you have to collect a bunch of like orbs or something, and then like
No, you don't
It's-
really have to. So the orb that you have to collect is basically comes from like basic attack. You just
Mm.
attack the enemy, and then you like the orb gets generated, and then you just click on them, and like if it's
okay.
in sequence,
gotcha.
like it kind of like buffs the orb, basically the skill. It's like a kind of like a matching combo. Like the system is nice. It's definitely like new. And like it's definitely different than like, even Genshin and even Wuwa, where like you just press one button or like two buttons. Because like you gotta actually like watch like the how the orb like gathers up. So like if it's not next to each other, then like it doesn't do the combo. And like it doesn't match 3. If you didn't match 3 yet, it doesn't show the full power and everything like that. So you gotta like, it's kind of like playing puzzle in the middle of the combat in a way, like a simple
Okay,
puzzle.
okay.
Like the problem is just like the starting story is like really meh so far.
Yeah,
And
I heard.
the character that you have is also really meh when you started the game. Like you gotta actually pull for the character.
Yeah, I heard that Punishing Grey Ravens, like, it takes a while for the story to get to good.
Apparently
And
people
that's
say, like,
that's
in
why like a
chapter
lot
10.
of people were saying that for like Wuha 2 is that, oh well, you know, like PGR didn't get good till later, so just give it a bit or something, and then
Yeah, well, Wuwa did get better way quicker. Just gonna say it.
Hmm.
1.1, like even in the story, the story picks up in like, you know, like I remember you said before that like Act 3, like the part with the scar and everything wasn't like as hype as like what people said. But I think like, it's
Right.
it picks up from there is what I would say. Like it starts getting better. Like the voice acting is getting better. You can kind of
okay.
see where the story is going. Like, you know, you're not coming in blind compared to like the first 3 chapters. So
Yeah.
it's like the story is definitely like, I think for now way better in Wuwa. Like they definitely recover way quicker
Mhm.
than in PGR. Because like
that's
PGR right
good,
now, I
like-
think I'm in chapter like 4 or 5. And apparently like you have apparently like the story is meh until like chapter 10, and I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah, it's. I heard it was very long end, so.
Because I thought it wasn't as bad, but like I didn't realize that like apparently when you go from chapter 1 to chapter 2,
Mm-hmm.
so like you go to chapter 1 and then you go to chapter 2, and then if you want to go to the chapter 3, you have to go to the chapter 1 because the chapter 1 has like the hidden chapter.
Oh, gee.
So, and then you have to go to
Okay,
chapter
okay.
3, and then you have to go back to chapter 2 for like the hidden area, the hidden chapter 2. So it's gonna be like that. You're gonna have to
That's
keep coming back to the
interesting.
previous chapter. So it's longer than like what people said, because people said like, oh, it's just 10 chapter. No, it's not.
Because it's
You
got
gotta
all
come
these
back to the
hidden
previous-
stuff. Mm.
Yeah.
And do you have to do the whole
You can-
chapter again, or is it just like?
No,
Like, can you kinda skip
it's
it a
a
little
short. It's a shorter version with like a different perspective.
Okay.
So for
okay.
example, if you're playing in chapter 1 as like the whole like the actual Grey Raven squad,
Mhm.
like the hidden chapter is gonna be like from the enemy's perspective, for example, or like the
Ah,
perspective
okay,
of like
okay.
your team, like your teammate, like your kind of like your friend or something like that.
Mhm.
So it's not exactly the same, but it's still a pain in fucking ass. And the combat like people said, like the combat is really good, and I think the combat is really good once you get the actual character that has good combat, I think.
Hmm.
Because when I was using the starting character, because I didn't pull until like yesterday or something, then the combat was like really, I don't know if it's because like the, you know, it's a you know, you just started playing the game, even like on Genshin and like Wuwa, when you're just starting the game, everything it seems like really tough, hard to kill and stuff like that. But yeah, it's not as flashy yet.
Gotcha.
But yeah, speaking about collab, yeah, that was like the
Mhm.
tangent I was going for, like the MC collab. Some people have been hoping that like they would do it with Wuwa instead. I personally don't know how they're gonna slip that in.
Yeah, it's interesting because like, what do you think about like collabs in general when it comes to gacha games? Because I'm kind of like very mixed on it. Because like in some ways they're good, but in other ways it's like they can
I
be
couldn't
kind of
really
weird,
say
like
because-
lore wise. Yeah.
Yeah, because lore wise, it's I don't have a lot of like experience in gacha games.
Mhm.
But I think depending on what game it is, it can work really well. For example, Devil May Cry, people like PGR, people has always compared like I think the Lucia, like Crimson Weave or something, like one of the character as like something like someone like basically like Virgil's daughter, with like the way she does combat. And like
Okay,
I think the
okay.
developer like designed her base of Virgil. So like, you know, you can kind of like tie that in. Maybe like, you know, maybe like Lucia like met Virgil in like some alternate place and like train with him, and that's why her combat is the same. Like, you know, you can kind of see the connection because like they design her based on him. Or like easiest collab to like, I think like to like tie the lore in would be like Nikkei's Nier collab because like you're literally commanding robots.
I mean, Nier is collabed with quite literally everyone at this point. So
Yeah, I know, but like Nier and Nikke is like really easy. Like I guess even with PGR it's really easy because PGR has the same team as Nikke.
Right.
You're basically like a commander of like a squad of robots, basically. So like a Nier collab is like really easy, right? You know, Nier is like basically robot characters. You just got on hold of like a new squad. Like this squad just just happens to be 2V and 9S. So I can see it working. I don't know about Wuwa though. Maybe like if they expand, like how we talk about like the alternate timeline earlier. Right.
Explain
maybe
how
they
that
can
works.
explain it. Yeah, they can kind of explain it. The one that I'm not sure of is the HSR.
Yeah, how
Final
that's going.
Fantasy thing. How are they gonna tie?
I think it's just going to be a different world, right?
It's just the
HSR.
world that they came in happens to be like the world that like
that's
Fate
the world
ran
that Fate
off.
is on. Yep.
Yeah, Fate is happening on.
Which I mean, that can make sense too. Like,
Yeah, that can kind of make sense. I mean, I'm not well versed in like the Fate state, like the whole Fate universe, so I couldn't really like say.
I mean,
They're
it's pretty
probably
much just
gonna
our
tie it up.
world, so. But like, just imagine more mythological.
Yeah. So maybe it could happen because like like Sonkai Star does have like alternate timeline. The timeline where Raiden May didn't succeed and stuff like that. Like had their loved one killed, stuff like that. So like yeah, I can definitely see it happening. I don't know what other collabs that I've seen before.
As long as it's better than the Genshin, and what was it?
Oh God! Don't even mention. I don't know if you can even call it a collab. You just get the character.
Yeah, you just got the.
You get no story. You get no constellation. No exclusive weapon. No explanation. They just drop you in the fucking mail.
Because what was the game? Horizon
Zero Dawn.
Yeah.
It's not. They didn't explain it. She's not even meta. Like if you're gonna give us a free you cannot even like improve her, like at least like give her full constellation or something. You're just gonna put constellation in and like we couldn't get it. What the fuck? And then
so,
like
as long as they learn their lesson on that'll be good.
Yeah. And then what?
Oh, also, Gacha games should never collab with Persona 5. Because have you heard of the Persona 5 curse?
What?
Where it's like apparently a lot of Gacha games that have done a collab with Persona 5 have end up having their end of service like a year after or so. Like it's like it's a weird timeline where it's like you do a Persona 5 collab and then it's like you're getting like you cancel yourself after. So it's like they call it the Persona 5 curse.
I never heard of that. Well, to be fair, I never played Persona either, so.
No.
Yeah, well, the whole turn-based
Yeah,
game.
you said you didn't really get into it too much until Star Rail, right? So.
I mean, even Star Rail, I didn't really get into it, as you can see. Like, there's a lot of aspect that plays in part, and like when I'm in front of my computer, I just mainly don't like playing, turn-based. And you cannot exactly play Persona 5 on your phone, unlike Star Rail. So,
although there is a Persona 5 Persona Gacha game, I think that's in China or something at the moment.
No,
that might.
I'm good. See, that would appeal someone if someone is already in the Persona universe, but I'm not, so I'm not really appealed by it.
Gotcha.
And also, I do think I am thinking of like playing it. I heard like the RPG system is like really in depth and everything.
I mean,
so I kind of want to get into it.
It's okay. Like I don't think it's as in depth as everyone always claims, but it's good. It's good.
It's deep enough.
But yeah, have you? Because like, have you played any other sort of RPGs? Because like recently, I got into Final Fantasy 16 over the past couple of days, and that's been very fun.
I actually played it on when I bought the PS5 because I played one of the reasons I bought PS5 was to play like give it
Yeah,
a try.
I've been waiting for the PC port and everything, and it's how should I put it? The PC port's okay. I just feel like they didn't do a good job on having good graphics options because I feel like the graphics options don't do anything, and my computer still like heats up like a lot. So I'm like,
Well, the game is heavy, definitely.
It is,
Right?
it is.
And it's already it's really like the game is really beautiful.
it is
Even when I played it, like
super
on TV.
beautiful, but it's like you would think that on the PC they would have more options to like turn stuff down and everything, but nope. they
See,
don't.
I don't think that would happen because when the game was designed for PS5, you know, that's what that's the assets they have to work with because this is a port. This is not like a remaster or anything, right? They're not making new assets. They're just putting it
I
in the,
know, but
in the PC. So like, you know,
I'm
you
just
can, you
wondering
can
like
only
how
go
did the
as
PS5
low.
I'm just
Well,
wondering
you can
'cause-
probably you can only go as low as the PS5 allows, basically.
But I'm saying like my computer's stronger, way stronger than a PS5, and so I'm like, I'm just surprised it's heating up as much as it is. It's not like burning out or anything, but it's like, like even playing like Elden Ring, my computer did not heat up like this. So,
I mean, Elden Ring is capped at 60 frames. I think.
well,
Final
I
Fantasy can
capped
go
this
up
one
to
too at
120,
60
right?
frames, but
Oh, you didn't try the 120? You should have
No,
tried
no.
120. I didn't really.
I
buy
want
it
the
on
game to
PC,
run
though.
smooth, like not not overheat or anything, but like that game, like the RPG stuff in it's very good, and then like it's the combat's actually like as you've played is a lot more like Devil May Cry and action oriented. So
Yep. The combat is really solid, honestly. I think the world, well, the world is kind of limited. It's definitely not
It's-
an open world per se.
at the beginning, it definitely is limited, and but it definitely opens up a lot more as you get into it. And like I recently just got my chocobo and everything, so I can kind of travel around a little bit faster, and
Oh,
so it's definitely
how
very cool.
Far
I mean,
in the chocobo thingy. I know I've gone. I've went out of the. I think I've only in like the wind country basically.
okay,
I've
okay.
beaten like
Yeah,
the
so-
harpy. So it's not that far in.
I'll say like I really love Sid in this game. Like he was such a he's such a cool character.
He is. Like how?
Mm-hmm.
See, I don't really want to ask the question because like I'm afraid if you haven't reached the point, you might
I'm
spoil
pretty
you.
far in from what it sounds like from where you are. If you've only like have you found Garuda and everything, or
Garuda, yeah, I think I've beaten Garuda. Like
Okay.
that's the wind girl,
yeah.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I've beaten her.
Did you beat Ifrit or? I guess what was the last primal that you fought? I guess is the. Do you remember that?
I think it's the Bahamut in like the underground. Like when like the little kid that you protected before, like the MC protected before, turns out to be
Joshua?
like Joshua turns to be a grown adult and like he tries to protect you from like Ultima basically.
Oh yeah. Okay, so I did that too. That was such a weird. I don't know what's going on, guys. The world in 16, like, this is why I want to keep playing it because like it just intrigues me so much with the craziness that's going on in it. But they've got like weird alien races stuff in there, and
Yeah, they got twists and turn.
oh wait, so then you saw the thing with Sid then, right? Is the
Like
if
the,
you're-
the part where like he
yeah, it's like I love Sid so much, and I'm like, God damn it, this guy's raising so many death flags, and then of course he just dies, and I'm like, no.
yeah.
And then I realized, oh wait, this is just the whole prelude. Like this is pretty much just the beginning of the game for like the first 20
Yeah.
hours. I'm like, okay, there's still way more game in here because I'm like about like 20 hours or no, 16 is what it seems sane. So
I don't know what my PS5 said. I've been playing it, but like that's around the part I would remember the story.
okay.
It's been a while.
So then you're
But
pretty
yeah.
much right where you stopped is like where I am right now. So
Okay. So we're like in parity in terms of like game knowledge, basically.
So then
Except
you need
like
to
you
continue
played it.
playing. So
Yeah, I mean, I don't really want to go back to PS5 because I have to play at 30 frames. But I don't really. But since I own the game, I don't really want to buy it again on Steam.
yeah.
Because like I play it on like the performance mode. It doesn't look as it still looks good, but I can kind of see it looks bad compared to like the quality, like the quality mode.
Right.
And also like it still chugs. Even in performance mode, it still chugs on like some of the like icon fights.
Oh, does
Because
it?
there's just so much
Okay,
effects. Yeah.
There is a lot of stuff going on. I'm like, holy cow.
Yeah, I really wish I played on PC instead. Because like that game is one of the reasons I bought like PS5. The other reason was God of War Ragnarok.
I was so
on PC
tempted
too.
about getting it, like a PS5 just for that game too. So, but I held off. Like, we'll see though. If they
maybe I should sell my PS5 so I'll have a reason to buy PC.
Although maybe I should just get the the PS5 Pro or something is coming out now,
Oh God, no, that's a bad deal. I think
Oh, is it? I haven't taken a look at what it offers and everything, but
if you have basically you can play on 60 frames with it's like playing 60 frames in the quality mode, basically.
okay.
Like the graphics is as good. Like you don't have to choose between performance and quality mode.
Gotcha.
That's the whole selling point. But I'm like, I thought that's called a PC.
But yeah, it's like we'll see. I know I got my PS4. Like I only bought a PS4 because of Persona 5. So like if Persona 6 comes out, maybe I'll get a PS6.
Oh, God.
Although I say that, and Atlas has been releasing a lot of their stuff on PC now, though. Like, because even like
Don't do
Persona
what I
3,
do.
like, whatever their remake was like instantly ported to the. Yeah, Persona 3 Reloaded was just instantly ported to PC. So maybe they'll just release Persona 6 on the PC.
I think they said they're gonna like do all their exclusive like on PC eventually, right? Like 1 or 2 years exclusivity.
Well, and actually,
yeah.
Metaphor, right? Metaphor ReFantasia, which is, I was considering getting either that or 16, and I kind of wanted to do 16 first. But like that's also another Atlas game, right? And that was just on the PC too. So
I bought it. I didn't play it though.
okay, I've heard a lot of really good things about it, so that's where it's like I'm
got
waiting.
so many
but,
games that I heard good things about, but I haven't played it yet. Games like Dragon's Dogma, Black Myth Wukong. I just haven't played it.
Yeah, I've heard good things about those ones too, and then there's so many good games actually at the end of the year. I just need to sit down and play.
Oh yeah, I want to play Stalker 2 if it actually comes out.
Stalker? What's that?
Stalker 2. It's have you ever played Metro? Probably not.
No, I think that's one that you've recommended me to try out, but I haven't gotten a chance to play it yet.
It's like an action horror thing.
Okay.
Metro is kind of like that. So like it's a post-apocalyptic game, survival game. Like imagine like, do you know Fallout at least? Like doesn't matter if you haven't played it, but do you know about it?
Yeah. I do. Yep.
Like imagine Fallout, but like much more like more sim. Like so like it's more kind of like realistic in terms of gameplay. So it's harder in general. Like it's less gamey. So like imagine like if you're playing Fallout, but like instead of like one, like you can like in Fallout there's this thing called Stim Pack, which like no matter where you get hurt from, like you just use one of the Stim Pack, and you can get healed. And like this game is not like that. It's more like Tarkov, where like you gotta heal the specific part of your body, and then like if you get shot in the head one time, it can be instant kill or something like that. Yeah. Like the world is much more like unforgiving. It's just like a darker version of Fallout, basically. But yeah, that game is coming out apparently like the end of this month, and then I'll be busy with like the Wuthering Wave update, and then that game, and then like the new update comes out. At least for this year, that's the only That's the only stuff that I can see. I don't know, like maybe like new game pops up into like my feed one of these days, and then I get to like play them. But like since my my days off are limited, like like I probably use like like after I gone home, I probably play the gacha games and then spend the day off playing Stalker instead.
Yeah, I should take a look at what else is coming out for the next. Let's see.
Oh well,
Yeah.
but like February, we got Monster Hunter Wilds.
Yes, dude. I want to play that.
You re-
Like I hate because I didn't realize because you mentioned you were talking or we talked about this a little bit before and you said the beta was open and I didn't realize it was like open to everyone.
30 October. It ran so smoothly in my PC. I was so fucking amazed. It's like when Monster Hunter World came out before, it was struggling on my PC, and it was capped on like fucking 60 frames. And like it was struggling. The graphics were like iffy back then. It has a lot of problems, and like now they came in with Monster Hunter Wild. It was a beta. It's a few versions behind what they're working on right now, according to them. But it ran so fucking fine. Like I was like constantly on like 100 frames all the time in every part of like almost every part of the world, except during like sandstorms and stuff. Like during heavy weather, because they have the weather system now where like you can get like
right
you like change the weather like storm and everything like that. The world is bigger. You can make camps inside the world itself.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Inside the open world, and then like the moment you finish the commission, since it's an open world, you don't really get teleported back to like the camp because the camp is part of the world. You just ride that back there if you want to.
Okay.
And like the combat is really smooth, but like as
you can use like
Monster
2 weapons
Hunter,
now, right? Or
yeah, you can change weapons when you're like riding your kind of like your mount.
Oh, your mount. Okay.
Yeah. They changed the button layout though, so it's in like a new system button layout because they had this new feature where you can aim where you're attacking on. So like instead of like being in Elden Ring where like you gotta attack, like you can actually like brings out a crosshair and like aim where you want to attack. I was like, what the fuck? This is game changer.
like
I love it.
And it like shows like wounded like things where it's like if you hit it at a specific spot, it does more damage and everything.
Yeah.
And,
so if you keep hitting a certain part, you get you bleed them, kind of like it shows a mark, and then you can attack those parts again to like kind of like stagger them and like deal bonus damage and stuff like that. It was really good. But like unfortunately, like I was someone that plays like Insect Glaive in Monster Hunter. I don't know. And the Insect Glaive and the beta that I tried didn't work at all. I straight up cannot do the combo because like I cannot bounce off the enemies. So like if I do, like I don't know, have you played Monster Hunter?
I have. Yeah.
You played Insect Glaive? Like you can jump around and like attack the enemy?
I played it a bit in 4. Like I know the moveset and everything. Like
okay, you can jump around the enemy, like above the enemy, and kind of like bounce off with their attacks and stuff, right? You cannot do that in the beta. I tried to do the jump attack and like I just hit the enemy once and went to the ground, and I was like, what the fuck? So I ended up changing weapons.
Nice. What'd you go with?
Because I went with the charge blade, and with the one that can like switch around. Yeah, the one that can switch between like shield and like axe and stuff like that. But I couldn't really fully experience the game because I never used that weapon.
Oh, okay. So then that's maybe not the best one to start off with because it's a very technical weapon for sure. Like there's so many combos.
Yeah, and I have like no points of comparison because I never used the charge blade in the Monster Hunter world. So I don't know what things they change and what things they improve. But I was just testing mostly for the performance of the game. And it ran really great on the combat. It's like the graphics are improved. Everything was improved and the performance is still smooth. I feel like this is how like games should be released, honestly. If this is how the game is gonna run.
Gives me good hope and everything.
Oh yeah. Like the game looks so good. Like and like the character now speaks. So like the character now actually have voice when they talk.
Okay.
And like they actually make reaction, like do you know how like when you get hit and stuff, like you kind of like scream and stuff like that,
Right,
like,
right.
that happens.
Mhm.
And like it's so detailed. I can actually see like how the face changes when you get hit and stuff.
Oh, I think I think I've seen some funny like images of that on like Twitter and stuff of people
so,
taking
like-
these characters and just making them get hit and everything and the crazy
Yeah.
faces. Like,
Because it was so funny. Because I could see them change like from like getting like when they're getting hit, like when they fell down and stuff like that, and like also like the whole like the physics effect, like falling down and like rolling around and everything like that. It feels much more smoother in general.
the character creator seemed really good too. Or at least
It's
I've been
really
able to
good.
see people like make some really crazy stuff. Like I saw
It's
somebody
really good.
create Yoshi P from the director for Final Fantasy 14,
Mhm.
like just in the game, and I'm like, oh, that's good.
it's Dragon's Dogma good, I think.
Okay.
Might be even better, I think. Might be. I didn't went full like into it full on. I just pick a preset and like customize it a bit because I know I'm just going to try the game. I don't really want to
Mhm.
spend time like making the game. And like people when like some of my friends tried it and they were like, oh, like we were lagging so hard in the servers because there's so much player and stuff. And I don't know if it's because it's a different server for me, but it was really chill for mine.
Okay.
So yeah, overall my experience with the game was really positive. I might actually pre-order the game, not gonna lie.
Nice. Oh, I can download a Dragon's Dogma 2 character creator.
Oh yeah,
Just as
that they
just to see.
released that like before the game, so you can actually create your character and then start the game immediately because people know
Mm-hmm.
they know people really like designing characters and it takes a long time and they don't want people to be stuck on the character creator.
The character creator
long.
boss. That's where I'm always stuck on. So.
Yeah, but yeah.
Ooh.
That's all I got for Monster Hunter because I only hunted like basically like I went through the prologue and then I think I hunted one big monster basically.
Right.
It's like then some like there's this big dragon swooped in. I know some people fought it but I was like, bro.
Yeah. Usually for like their, like they'll have like a demo or something. Because usually they do like a demo or something before, and if you like beat the flagship monster or like. Or the one that they tell you that's the flagship monster, then you get like some extra rewards when the game actually comes out. But something like too big, just like a little bit of a head start.
See, I would have tried it if I actually knew about that, but I didn't. Because as soon as I saw the monster, it hits me and like I lost like 2/3 of my health. I was like, "Fuck this!" I'm running away from him. Because the moment he came in, the sky went dark and like starts lightning starts like striking, and I'm like, "What the fuck is this guy doing?"
The music
Like
changes.
I was using a weapon I never used in my life. I was learning how to play the new control and everything, and then this guy just swoops in and takes like 2/3 of my health. I was like, fuck no.
But nice.
But yeah,
nice.
it was an experience.
Yeah, hopefully before the game comes out, they'll do another like beta or open weekend for everyone. Because I would love to give it a try, or at the very least, mess with the character creator.
They might be, because like this was like an open beta, right? So they might do
Right.
a closed beta.
See, that's
Well,
what I thought.
see.
I thought it was actually like a closed beta or something. I didn't realize it was so open.
I think it was open. At least from what I remember, it was open.
So yeah, we'll have to wait and see. It'll be coming out sooner. Actually, probably very soon compared to what we're.
Oh yeah, it's coming February. I'm excited to play it. Hopefully, I can get some of my days off to play the game. Because I was thinking of taking the month off, but then I was like, shit.
the whole
game is
month
coming
or
at
just...
Yeah, I was thinking of taking the whole month off, but then I'm like, if the game is coming at the end of the month, I might want to like shift things a bit. See if I can get like an extra month after like the thing.
Right,
like,
right.
You know, I can get like the early March like off too, so I can actually enjoy the game. So I'll have to see like the plans that I have to make. Cause like I usually take February off for my birthday and stuff. Like
Oh,
I
nice.
might as
nice.
well. Yeah. That's what I said, but I just want to take the whole month off. Honestly, I just don't want to work. Tired of work, guys.
Yeah, we all need some time off, so never hurts.
I need, I need 12 months off every year.
12. Maybe
If I could,
one
I
day.
would. If
Maybe
I
we
could,
can
I would.
It's like maybe one day we'll get to a society like in what's it, Star Trek or something, right? Where it's like nobody really works; they just do the stuff that they want to do, and that's what the Star Price internship is. And
Isn't that what AI is supposed to do for us?
Right,
Yet
right.
here we are, instead getting our job stolen by it,
Mm.
left and right. But you never tried. You didn't try the Monster Hunter, so like,
Hmm.
I guess you can't really speak much about it.
Yeah, but I'm really looking forward to the game though, because I'm a big Monster Hunter fan. So
You are?
yeah, I've been playing it since well,
I
my
never
friend
seen you
got
playing
me
it, so
into-
I didn't know.
Oh yeah. Well, it's because I played it a lot. Like, so World and stuff has been out for a while, right? So like the first game I
Yeah.
actually ever streamed was Monster Hunter World. I went through that. I went through Generations. Like,
Oh.
done a
never
bunch of
seen you
games, but it's
Gone
just
back into the game though, like
yeah,
fighting
because I've kind of
Fatalists or
done
something like
everything.
that. Oh, you fought the last monster, like the Fatalist
Yep,
or
yep.
something like that?
Hmm.
That's insane. I should have him carry me.
I
My
could try.
bitch
I
has
could
just
try.
finally got into like the guiding lands.
No, okay.
My friend
Well,
was
we'll have
like,
to do,
you don't really finish the game until you fought the freaking Fatalist. And I'm like, bro, I just got to guiding lands. I thought the story is over already.
Yeah, because
You get the credits rolling and everything.
because Fatalis, and then there's also Alatreon is also a very tough one too. So
Yeah, Alatreon is the one that I think shows up on my list now, and I'm like,
but yeah, I wouldn't mind helping out. Just let me know whenever you want to try to get back in, and then I'll have
probably
to I'll have to
before
probably
Wild's
re-download
release,
again.
so we can actually delete the game after, and then save the space for Monster Hunter Wilds. We're like, hey, new game came out.
Dude, I need to maybe get another like hard drive and everything, because I'm like, man, I keep having to delete stuff. Such a
Really?
pain.
How big of a storage do you have right now?
I just have like a terabyte at the moment, so
Oh, that's not enough.
yeah.
Gotta get 4 at least.
Oh, 4 terabytes? Ooh.
Yeah, 4 terabytes are like cheap these days, like 200.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Yeah.
See, that's where it's like I
200
haven't
for
bought.
like 4 terabytes. That's like worth it.
Yeah, I haven't looked at SSDs in a while, so maybe I'll put that
It's
on
way
as like a
It's really yeah,
Christmas
it's really
list or
cheap,
something.
isn't it? Yeah, Christmas gift for yourself,
Hmm.
or I could gift it to you.
Yeah, it is.
Free SSD. Just make sure, like I don't know if you have 2 SSD or anything like that, but like you might want to get it early so you can, like, if you have to reinstall Windows and everything like that, it's you've got time. Instead
Ooh,
of,
having
like,
to reinstall. Okay.
like, because I don't know if you have 2 SSD or just 1, right? If you have 2, you don't have to replace the Windows.
Right,
But
right.
if you only have
yeah.
1, then you got to do it.
Oh, I can add like another one onto it, so
Oh,
I should be fine there, because I have a
Perfect.
normal like, was it like just C drive, and then I have like a extra like a terabyte drive that was attached onto it. So
interesting.
yeah, I'll have to look into that and try to get it.
I'm
Ooh,
waiting
yeah,
for it.
I'm seeing some 4 terabytes, 300.
It depends on what brand you get. I think if you get like
Right,
the Team
right.
Group, it's like 200 something,
Mm.
220, 250. But yeah, I guess speaking about games that are coming at games that came out,
Hmm.
we can probably move into the controversial topic of the day.
Oh, the the Dragon Age one.
The Dragon Age Failguard. See,
Yep.
I don't know. Have you ever played BioWare game?
Yes, so I've actually I've played a little bit of like the Dragon Age series itself. Like, I know I played Dragon Age Origins, and I know there was the one before that too that I gave a try, and it's like like overall, like how I think of it is like, so the games are very good. Like, actually, let me put it this way: the games have very bad gameplay, and they've had like very bad like character creators and stuff and everything, and like it can feel very stiff and kind of hard to play. But they have a really amazing world and really good like story and characters and stuff in it. That's like it makes it like really fun to play that thing. And this new game kind of has like the exact opposite, whereas like the gameplay and stuff can be a little bit better, the character creators better, but the story and the lore and everything they have is really bad.
So I've heard.
Or at the very least, it's not great. So I hear it's like alienating people, and it's it's pretty much not a Dragon Age game.
Yeah, it's like a lot of people have been like saying that, oh, like the game is fine. It's the RPG, like the writing is ass, but like the gameplay runs fine. Like the game runs really well apparently, like in terms of like optimization.
Right,
and, like,
right.
The gameplay was like okay, and then I'm like, it's not a Dragon Age game then, right?
Exactly. It's pretty much like a good average game that just happens to have the Dragon Age name onto it, right? But it doesn't have anything that really makes what most people would consider to be a Dragon Age game.
See, I just don't know how people can like say that as a recommendation, because like if you're coming into like a Dragon Age game and then this game is okay, but it's not a Dragon Age game, then like that's I think that's a bad thing.
No, it is. Like, and it's like, especially for a long running franchise, right? Like, I think just creating an okay game is not acceptable, right? You kind of expect a lot more. And so, it's like, I understand a lot of the hate. Like, some of it might be a little bit blown too much out of proportion, but at the same time, it's like, I get where fans would be upset, like when it's.
I think it's a bit blown out of proportion because the way they respond to it, especially considering that like the complaint is justified, because like the gameplay can suck, but as long as the story is like the Dragon Age story that we expected, it's fine. But apparently that's the one thing they botch. People had one expectation, is that the game tells you the story of the Dragon Age, and like the choices that you made before matters. But that's the one thing that they botched, apparently.
Yeah, and it's like, from what I've seen from the dialogue too, it's like what it seems like as well, like from the story writing, is that it sounds like something like it's like a writer has like, oh, this dialogue or this scenario will be really good. Now, how do I fit a game around that? Like instead of like, like, oh, okay, here's the game world and everything that we want to tell. Now let's come up with the dialogue to help enhance that and everything. And it kind of seems a little bit backwards in some aspects.
The story comes later, yeah.
Right.
That's kind of sad.
And I think that's kind of where a lot of people have been getting upset with recently, just in general, is that a lot of people are they're getting into these like franchises and they're telling their own story rather than telling the story that's supposed to be a part of the franchise and everything, right? So like we've seen this with like Star Wars, we've seen it with
See, I think this is part of the reason gacha games have been having a resurgence. It's not just Genshin, it's because like games that are made in like by Asian company in general doesn't do this.
Oh yeah.
So like they're taking a different direction, and like, well, apparently people just like the direction that's like the gacha games, because like as bad as like gacha business like system is, at least we know what their goal is.
Right.
Yeah,
right.
no. At least we know what their goal is, to make money. And like if giving you good story makes them money, they would do it.
Well, it's like even like how we were talking about was it 16 earlier, right? And even Wild is gonna have some really good story. Like it's like just gotta
But see, with Wilds, we still don't know because the game hasn't been released. But like the problem is that like with 16, apparently like Square Enix said the game was a failure because it quote unquote didn't meet expectation.
Well, I think that's also because they had the deal
for a Final Fantasy game.
Yeah, that is the business and everything making weird stuff, and I think that's also why they're not going to be doing any more whatchamacallit, like
Final
deals
Fantasy
or
game.
no,
like
not
exclusivity.
exclusivity. Yes, because of like I think that game sold a lot less because a lot of people were probably also like didn't have a PS5 and wanted to play it on the PC. So, but yeah, that's sad though because the game is really good. It's a very solid game.
Yeah. I think I think this is why also like we're
Oh,
gonna
thank you for
start
the
probably
hydrate.
seeing more like games like gacha, because gacha games are like free to play. So I think I think I think it sets a different expectation compared to like, because if you're making a AAA game, it's a lot of upfront costs, and you're counting on the sales count, which means like the first few days gonna it's gonna show you, like first few weeks, it's gonna show you whether like it's gonna
was a
decide whether the
success.
game fails or not. Yeah, but like
And-
usually when it's a free to play game, they're much more lenient to it for some reason.
And AAA games are all like $70 now, aren't they, or more? So it's like
Mostly.
they're getting
trying
expensive.
to shift their way to it. Yeah. They've been shifting their way to it, and I don't really like it in general, because like considering that everything in life has been rising in terms of costs, I don't know if that's a good idea. And like,
yeah.
oh,
it's-
your living your living expenses is rising here. Let me increase your entertainment expenses as well. Let me screw you more.
I think it really depends on the game because some games are definitely worth the $70.
Some
But
games are.
others is like they're just
I
like
paid $70 for Elden Ring in a heartbeat.
right. But it's like other games is like that's not worth $70.
Other
Like-
games are questionable, and I think that's one of the reason why like live service games, and like which is like gacha games and games that are like free to play, but like pay for convenience, quote unquote. it's gonna become more like popular. It's because they know what the fans want, and also they know what the market wants, is that the market wants a game that is like affordable for most people. Because I've heard, like from what I've heard, a lot of like people in Asia doesn't really have a good PC to begin with.
Oh yeah. They don't. Although it's interesting that like Wuthering Waves and I think even ZZZ itself is like becoming more of like a Western game rather than
yeah,
Eastern
they're
one,
trying
'cause,
to
like-
appeal. Yeah, I think they're trying to
Well,
appeal
it's
to
not
a wider
even-
audience, right?
well, I mean, it's not even that. It's like I think if you look at like the sales numbers and stuff, like they're definitely doing a lot more, or at least they seem to be doing a lot better in Western countries. So,
Oh no, actually no. China is still the biggest
Well,
market
yeah,
for those
but-
kind of games. Like China is literally half of the market itself, and like the rest of the world is like the other half. So like it's split between like Western and like Asian countries.
I don't. Did you see the latest like ZZZ banner? Like, apparently the West, the West really loved the latest character, but not so much the East.
Bernice?
Yeah, Bernice. Yep.
Yeah, the one with the brain rot song.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
God.
Genshin is definitely still very popular, and
Genshin, I think Genshin is less about popular
Hmm.
and more about most people that played gacha games probably played that game and they're now stuck with the game. It's not that they love, like, they may say they love the game, but they may love it because they have to, because I've spent 4 years of my life on this game. God damn it,
The
I
sunk-
will
the sunk
I will
cost
not,
fallacy.
yeah,
It
I will not
reminds
hate it
me-
now.
It reminds me a lot of what people used to say for WoW and stuff too, right? Like a lot of people, WoW was their only game forever because they spent so much time into it and everything, and then it wasn't until it really started to go down the drain that people actually opened up and started to realize that, oh yeah, there's a lot of other really good video games out there.
And that's also why I'm trying to root for like Wuwa. I wanted to get more recognition. I don't want it to get too much recognition, actually, believe it or not. I wanted to get some recognition. I don't want it to get too much appeal because I don't want people to start being toxic about a game. Like the one that we have right now, community, it's just like it's fine the way it is. I want the game to make more money, but I don't want the game to turn into like a toxic place where like people start, you know, having like all this controversy that like Genshin or like Zenless have, like the MiHoYo games in general have. Like every single time like a new character comes out, there's always something wrong about it.
Although it is funny, like they do mention, like ZZZ is definitely they're definitely appealing to much more of an adult audience with their.
The game is rated higher to begin with, like for older like audience, so it makes sense. We always know from the beginning, like, you know, that kind of thing sells, and they just refuse to admit it apparently. But you know, and after playing like some games like Punishing Gray Raven, for example, like I kind of appreciate ZZZ more because you can actually do more things in that game compared to like the other ones.
Which is good because, you know, it definitely came out later, so you could see that they're learning.
Yeah, you can see that they're learning. Yeah, they're improving it. Because like when I play Punishing Gray Raven or like Snowbreak, like it's the same concept, right? You get into the level, you fight, you run a bit, you know, meet some characters, they talk, and then like, you know, the end of the level, you go back to the menu and everything. But ZZZ doesn't do that, you know. ZZZ does everything in the game world at least.
Right.
Like the menus and everything, you know, the menus, like the achievement is like part of like the book that you have in the shop. And like if you want to travel, like if you want to do missions and if you want to explore and stuff, you use the car and like or like the metro.
Yep.
And you do like certain like battles and like different, you know, sometimes you have to go to the company, like to the police station to like do the missions, or like you gotta go to the computer to like do the exploration and stuff like that. So I think that's an improvement that's like more immersive than like navigating through menus and like text that I did like in like Snowbreak and like Punishing Gray Raven. So like, yeah, like I've been trying out gacha games and I've been exploring how the landscape looks, and like ZZZ, I think my perspective on it has been way better because now I have, you know, a broader experience like compared to like just experiencing like open world gacha games.
Nice.
It sets like different expectation now. So I might give it a try. I might
go back to it.
I've been on the fence the whole time. Because like I still haven't progressed like any further than like what I told you last time about like how I finished the first act.
Okay.
And because of that, I also missed like getting Caesar, and I didn't even open the game throughout the whole Bernice banner, so I didn't even get her. And now it's a new banner already, like Yanagi, I think.
I pulled for Bernice, but I failed the 50-50, so it's like I really want the new character that's out right now, so that's why I need to start playing again.
Well, today is the first day of the new update, so you know you got your time there.
I'll wait for them to give me the I'll get all the full like 10 pulls and everything, and then I'll try to get her all at once. It's guaranteed. I just need the resources, so. And then I've got to get through all the new story and.
For me, I might have to see whether I can fit the time into actually playing the goddamn game. Because like I think I'm about to be maxed out on like Tower Fantasy now, so I'm almost done with the grind.
That one recent.
Yeah, I've been trying to experience the world. I really like the world design. It's just everything else is awful. Unfortunately. So yeah, I might drop that game after. Like,
after you get what you want out of it. Yep.
Yeah, after I maxed out the count, like because I've reached the end of the story of like what the patch has right now, and like my account in general, like my character is almost maxed out in terms of level, which is like level 100, I think. So after this, I basically have nothing to do in the game, and like they had this new feature. This feature is like actually really amazing. So the game has like multiple worlds, right? And multiple areas, and it has this like expedition like feature now. It's like it came out recently, like literally this update just now, like this version basically, where you can do like send characters you have to expedition, kind of like Genshin.
Yep.
But the expedition that they do actually explored the world. So like they actually beat the bosses for you. So like for
Oh,
achievement
okay.
and stuff,
Mm-hmm.
they actually collect the collectibles inside the game world. So like in Tower of Fantasy, they have a limit. So like they show you for example, in this map, there is 100 standard pull and like 20 like banner pull, like special pull, right?
Mm-hmm.
They have like that. They have the counter, and that counter actually increases like with the expedition because the character actually looks for stuff for you, and like the map exploration actually increases too. So like
Oh,
they have
that's
this
cool, that's
threshold where
cool.
like if you explore 20% of the map, you get this prize, 40% you get this prize, and like they actually increases the percentage. So like the exploration actually gives you like good stuff. Like it actually gives you pulls, like premium currencies, like experience, achievement, and stuff like that. I was like, whoa, this is kind of crazy. And like I think they stack multiple times. So like for example, if I left it for the whole day, you get way more than like if you just claim it the first time, the moment it finished the first time.
No, that's cool.
So
that's
it
cool.
actually stacks around. Yeah. So I don't know how much it stacks, but it actually stacks. So yeah, I really appreciate that because the world, like the problem is that I really want to explore the game world, but I just don't have a reason to because the game is empty. And like even if you want to try to find those collectibles in the game, the draw distance is so bad. I cannot even see where the things are. It's actually really amazing. You can see so far away, like the actual map, but you cannot see the item that you need to find too far. So like it's like it's like the whole it's like the whole map is rendered like Genshin. The whole map is rendered, but like the chest is not rendered, so you cannot see where the chest is.
Interesting. Okay.
So you cannot you
and
can
it only
explore
like comes
blind.
in once you're like super close to it or something, or
Yeah, it's like 30 meters close, then it shows up, and then I'm like, what's the point? I cannot explore if I don't know where I'm supposed to go.
We just gotta look everywhere, I guess. Or look up online, right, where the chests are. Kind of like
that's so awful because like the map is way bigger than like even Genshin. Well, actually, the map is like probably as big as Genshin now, times 4, because there's 4 planets, and like every planet has an So there's 4 planets. Every planet has their own extra areas. One of them has like 3 of them, so that's 3 more maps in one planet. And every one of them has their own collectibles.
Oh, that's just like in. Okay, so it is just like in Genshin, right? With the.
Yeah.
Oh.
So like having the feature where like they explore it for you, I'm like, wow, that's great. Give me all the resources. Give me all the currencies that I miss.
But that's actually really handy. Like.
But like playing all these games have helped me like form a more informed opinion and like perspective on like other games that I'm going to play in the future, I think.
But nice. That's what everyone should do, right? Is go out and try a bunch of different stuff and then.
Yeah, because I don't want to, I don't want to like when we talk in it. I don't want to like every time we talk, I'd be like, yeah, I never played the game. That's kind of sad. And I feel like my like I feel like my opinion is not as valid if I never played any games that are like similar to it.
It's all right. Like I still think every opinion still matters. It's just
oh yeah, no. Every opinion is matter. It's just like it has different weight if I actually went through the experience of playing
right.
Like if I never played a turn-based game and then I gave my opinion on it, like my opinion kind of sucks probably. Because I don't know what it's like to play the turn-based game. But since I've played more now, like for example, like I learned to appreciate ZZZ more because I've played games that are similar to it.
So what you're saying is that you should play Persona 5 next.
I did say I was going to try it, but like in terms of like turn-based, I also have to play Baldur's Gate, that game. Oh, how many hours do I need to play that? I don't even want to play it like during like my work day because like every time I come home I'm tired and then I have to think so much for that game.
It's a lot. Like I'm playing it with like Himuro and White at the moment, and I want to go back and kind of do it on my own too, because like there's a lot of decisions I'm sure we're just messing up, and there's so many different branching paths in that game, so there's a lot of replay value in it.
Oh yeah, the game has so much replay value with like how many things you can approach, like how many ways you can approach things. Like instead of like talking to people, you knock them out and then throw them on the river, or like.
Oh yeah, I mean,
instead of
well,
save-
I killed a village last time, so like,
I mean, you can play, you can play as the dark ones, like the literal, like the dark side of like the game, and then actually killed all the companion NPCs in the game. So like for example, like I think Shadowheart, you can just kill her like when you find her in the beach, and then like you can kill Astarion when he tries to attack you.
Right. You could cut Gale's hand off when he tries to.
Yeah. Yep. You can just kill everyone and then just be like literal villain and get the bad bitches.
Yeah, and the mods are supposed to be pretty good too. Like the build crafting is fun, but like
because
even
they supported it. Yeah. They made an official support for it, so like people have been modding the game the heck out.
You could chop the tiefling's head off too. Ooh, okay,
Which
okay.
tiefling?
I think it's the one that joins your party, right? The
Karlach?
Yeah, Karlach. Yeah.
Like the demon lady, like the tall demon lady. I think.
Yep.
I think I think I've seen pictures of it.
But yeah. I see we're getting close to a couple hours, and I know we're both still kind of sick. So, is there anything else that you kind of want to cover, and then maybe we could give ourselves a little bit of a rest?
You know, I don't think anything comes in mind. Personally, that's all I want to talk. You know, I'm just mainly want to discuss about the things that is happening so far.
Right.
Like the new upcoming updates for the WoWA, and like the games that have been like pretty popular lately. Because like I think especially Failguard, it's kind of sad because I think it gives a bad picture for like
well,
the whole DEI culture thing, like, you know, inclusivity
I think,
and stuff.
Well, it's that, and then I also just hate how people can't talk about a failure in a game, right? Like, it's like whenever people have a problem with a game, it's like, oh, you can't have an issue with it. It has to be like, oh, you don't like this thing, like you don't like the wokeness or whatever. It's like, no, there's just actually other problems with it. But
I mean, it kind of makes sense to hate on the wokeness, because the wokeness is kind of one of the reasons the game failed, because they focus on the wokeness too much, I think.
Has it failed? Like, I haven't looked at the numbers, but is it like
for the budget the game used?
Oh, that's a good point.
The game is in development for like
5 years
because it started with I think it's 8. I think the first 3 years were like the Dreadwolf one, and then they changed the title right towards the end. So it's been pretty long in development from a good franchise that there are people that have been expecting from for a while. And so like I think it peaks in like 77,000 players, which is like, you know, it's a lot. It's more than Concord, I can tell you that much. But like 77,000 is like nothing to like even something like, you know, like an Elden Ring, or like, you know, other AAA games. Like even something like Helldiver goes up to like 550,000. So like, I don't know, 77,000 doesn't sound much considering the budget of the game and the scale of the hype that the game could have had because of like the IP. You know, Helldiver was like, you know, it's not a new IP, but it wasn't really that famous before, but it just blew up. Because like the first Helldiver only has like, I think like 1,000 players or something, or like peak.
It really did blow up with the latest one. So
yeah. But like the Helldivers 2, it blew up to heaven and back. It was like it had like peak 550,000. I think it's been picking up more recently because they've started like listening to what the players want. Like they started buffing the weapons and everything like that, and people have been enjoying the game more.
Well, and like the director went back to being more like a developer, right, or something rather.
Yeah. He stepped down as a CEO and like starts like becoming like more of an actual game director, doing what he loves, making games, so I'm happy. I'm happy for him. And like Dragon Age, you know, as good as the review it is in the Steam right now, it's not enough for an IP that size. Yeah, the game looks okay. Like the environment looks pretty. The character, especially the one with the horn, because I never played Dragon Age, so I don't know.
Those
But they look
characters,
awful.
whatever that race is, that they look very uncanny, creepy. Like
Yeah,
I
they
don't
look
like it.
awful.
Yeah,
They look like
terrible.
a guy with an extra forehead. They just look like a normal person with like extra
They
big
put a normal
foreheads.
person's head onto a weird body and everything. It's like
Yeah,
it's weird.
and like it's okay if it's a first game, but like this is the third game. Like the previous two games did it better. How did they mess it up? That's kind of problem, right? Like the game is okay, but also it ruins what people used to have. You know, people used to remember the game. Like, you know, the gameplay may be bad, the graphics may be not that good, but like the story is good. But like now it's effort, like as you said, it's everything in the opposite direction.
Yep.
The gameplay is way better, the graphic is much better, but the story now is ass, which is like, you know, if people stick around for like 2 series when everything else is bad except the writing, and then they change, like, you know, the game is like the third game is the exact opposite. I don't think like everyone in the previous 2 would like enjoy it.
Yep.
So yeah, I personally think it's bad. And also like the clips that people have been sharing around, like,
Oh, the
how
clips definitely have not made it look good. That's for sure.
the dialogue is so freaking cringy. Personally, I'm not gonna. It's a really hard topic to get around, but it basically feels. It doesn't feel like a fantasy dialogue.
No,
fantasy
it
game
doesn't.
dialogue.
And there's a lot of stuff too, like just even with the character creator stuff. I know there was a lot of people getting upset on some of the options and stuff there. So
Yeah,
because it's like it doesn't make sense in a fantasy world. Like,
yeah, and even if it makes sense, the whole problem is that people, like, they're using it as the main selling point. They're promoting the game based on the fact that like this game character creation has this option. And I'm like, what the fuck? If I'm playing Baldur's Gate, like, I don't like, the character creation is good, but like I don't see them like, you know, promoting the character creation. I see them promoting the fucking like RPG aspect.
Right.
And that's also like what people use as a comparison, right? Is that like both game are woke, like Veilguard and like Baldur's Gate. I never had one complaint about Baldur's Gate in terms of like it being woke and like ruining the game, because it doesn't, like, you know.
Well, that's the thing, is like, the thing is a lot right now, a lot of people are trying to be that, whereas like just before, it's like when you just have good writing and stuff, it just comes kind of naturally, right? Like, because what was a good one about like, oh, you know, if you ever want to have like race and diversity, the old was it like Gears of War games had race and diversity in it, like, and it's like you would have never thought about it because they didn't make that the main point, but
And even recently, the Space Marine 2,
yeah, exactly.
it had good diversity. I don't know, like the characters are like literally one of them is like Asian and one of them is black.
But they're all badass, so it doesn't matter.
They're all badass. Like, you know, one of them may be disabled, but like, god damn it, that fucking Iron Hand, fucking awesome. And like, what about like the big robot? I think like the big robot is like supposed to be like basically like someone that's like crippled for life, but they still want to go to war.
But they still want to like serve.
Yeah, they still want to join the war. So like they basically like put themselves into the fucking robot suit, and like he was fucking badass.
Right.
When he throw that fucking like statue on the dragon, I was expecting the dragon to be part of a boss fight or something, and the dragon died in one hit. I was like, what the fuck? Apparently, I'm not the boss here. You know, I'm not having no boss fights around here. But yeah, that was like that. You know, diversity is the problem. Is not. The problem is not the woke, it's how they deliver the woke. It's how they integrate the woke into the game, I think.
Yeah, it's bad writing, and like I said, I think it's a lot of like they have ideas that seem really good in their head, and they probably could be good ideas, but they're trying to shoe them into like a video game or like an existing franchise, and that's where it just doesn't blend in well. So
Yeah, because I think it's instead of like the story being the main focus and then like intertwining that with the inclusivity, they kind of focus on the inclusivity first and then the story second, which is not a good idea if you want to make a game. If you want to make a fucking like,
well, not even just a game. If you want to make any
entertainment, yeah, like if you want to make a documentary, that's a different thing. People don't care about story in documentary. I think people cared more about the facts there. But like if you're trying to make anything that is like entertainment related, we just want to be entertained. And I don't think you coming in and like lecturing us like a freaking like elementary school teacher is like really entertaining. I don't think anyone that went to school find that entertaining. So yeah, the game is technically not flopping, but definitely not making profit either. So far, who knows? Maybe the game stays this way. Maybe people keep trying it and keep buying it, and then eventually it gets, it recoups, like it makes profit. But like for now, it's not.
But I think like you said though, it's like that first month or so is very important for at least the companies. They consider it like a profit.
Yeah.
So.
And for the company like to like make prediction on like the sales and stuff, because like that's when they started have to decide like, oh, if the game is not selling well, we gotta like make a discount, or like are we gonna do a sequel, or are we gonna like fire the fucking company that made the game because they failed and wasted our money. It really depends on like the first few months, right? Because that's what happened with Concord. They literally, I think that there's a new news.
They shut down really quick.
Not only did they shut down the game really quick, they fired the whole company now.
They did.
The whole team.
But the amount of money they spent on that one was crazy. Like, what was
staggering amount? 400 mil?
Yeah, it was a lot. Like, whew.
Yeah, and and people that says like, oh, the number is like overblown. I don't think it's overblown. Like apparently, like people have been sharing like the credit scene of like the game, the Concord game.
There's like so many developers on it. Yeah, it's huge.
Yeah, it was longer than like GTA 5 developer list.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what the fuck? That means like the game might have like costed more than like GTA 5, and it flops so freaking hard. Like the amount of players that play it doesn't even reach like 4 digits like during the actual release. Like I think they reached like 2,500 like during the beta when the game was free, and then when the game was paid, it was less than 700 I think players on a PvP game. That's
it wasn't great. That's for sure.
If that's like a gacha game, at least you make some money out of it probably.
Well, that was the thing that surprised me, is that they thought they couldn't even salvage it by turning it into like a free to play game or anything, right?
I think it's just too hard, right? Because like the thing that failed, I think the developer thinks they can do that. That's why they said, oh, we're gonna try, like explore our option. But like I think the company just see it and like thinks it's impossible, because most people complaining about the characters, not the gameplay. So the problem is like you cannot like just remake like I don't know how many characters they have in the game.
Yeah,
it's like impossible to remake it at that point. Because
like
if the problem is to
come up with whole new characters, and
you like if because like they had the whole like universe and like storytelling part of it, like with the cutscenes and everything like that, right?
Oh,
so
true.
If you have to change the characters, you have to reshoot the cutscenes.
Redo all the cutscenes. Yep.
Yeah. You have to redo all the animations and stuff like that. And I'm like, well, you basically just throwing away the game at that point. Like it's not even the same game anymore.
That's a good point. Yeah.
Yeah. So like the executives probably just be like, yeah, should just like throw this fucking thing in the garbage and like fire everyone that like causes this loss.
Yep.
Which is, I find it really funny because like, they made like $1 million, right? In like 2 weeks, basically, apparently, because like the Steam player is like 700, like 600 something, but like the total sales are apparently 25,000 copies.
And then they
apparently.
offer refunds and everything too. So
Yeah, no, but like I'm trying to compare it to like some of like free like live service games, like free to play like gacha games these days that are like only making that much a month but surviving. Like for example, even like Tower of Fantasy, the one that we talked earlier, they only made 700,000 this like last month, I think.
But that's still probably like
Yeah,
that's
the
a
game is
good
still
amount
here.
of money for them. Yeah.
And it kind of shows. I think that might set like a bad precedence on like the companies, because now they're gonna start making those kind of games instead of like single player games. The company is gonna be like, hey, instead of like spending big bucks and like making good like high quality AAA games, we're just gonna make everything free to play with daily battle passes and like currencies to buy and like more skins and more.
I don't know. Like I see the thought on that, but it's like people have been saying that for ages now, like ever since like League of Legends came out with their stuff. Like, so it's like
It is happening though.
It is, but
Right.
I still think you're gonna find just like good games. You're just not gonna find
Yeah,
like every developer.
But you get but you're gonna find them less and less. That's my point. Is that like the companies are getting pushed into that direction because most people, like as good as like something like Elden Ring. Elden Ring made $1 billion in terms of profit, and that's a lot of money. But that's not as much as Genshin made in a fucking month.
Right. But Genshin
When
is
it
also
first
like
released.
an outlier. Like there's so many other gacha games out there. Like
But that's the thing. A company doesn't care if it's an outlier. If the proof is there, that means it's possible in their mind. It's the same
gonna be
as
the
like
WoW
how like
stuff.
people are trying to it's how people trying to copy like something like WoW, or people trying to copy Genshin now, or people trying to copy like Fortnite. Just because it's the outlier, it doesn't it still sets a bad example, because now people are gonna be like, hey, if they can do it, we can do it too. We're just gonna make Fortnite 2.0 or like Genshin 2.0, and people gonna spend their money on it, even though like something like WoWa came out and it's a really good game, but since people are already invested in Genshin, not a lot of them moved. You can kind of see the numbers. Like Genshin still makes way more than WoWa did.
well, yeah,
So, like,
yeah.
it kind of shows that even after making a good product, it doesn't really mean it moved the needle like to their And then we're gonna keep
but it
everyone's
still has
gonna
to be because
Still
it's like
has to
I
be
feel
what?
like sorry, go ahead.
no. I was asking still to be what?
Well, because it's like I feel like some of this stuff is also relative, right? With how much, how much is actually profitable and everything. But I feel like when it comes to especially like a game trying to make more money than Genshin, it's like that's not going to really happen until Genshin kills itself, right? Because
Yeah,
people are still going to spend their
Genshin
time
is-
and. I doubt like another gacha game is really going to come up and just take all that audience and take all that money. So.
I mean, they
But
did
we'll
it
see.
to themselves when they make Honkai Star Rail, right? I'm pretty sure Honkai Star Rail made more than Genshin. Technically, they're killing themselves.
For a couple months, it has, yeah.
Even most of the months, I think they still make more than like Genshin Impact in average now.
Do they? Okay.
It's just
okay.
Genshin. Yeah, it's just Genshin made more in their lifetime because they're older. But like I think months to months, like I think the game that made the most money are like basically like mostly Hoyo games. Is like,
Yeah, definitely. Yep.
Honkai Star Rail, and then like that one Husbando game. What is it, like Love and Deep Space?
Yep. It's always so interesting seeing that one so high up on the charts.
Yeah, I mean that's
A lot of
because like
people
it's,
love it.
There's a lot of people loved it, and a lot of people doesn't have options. How many Husbando games you've actually seen?
True.
Probably 2 Tears of Themis and like that game. So basically, you only have 2 options. I know some games are trying to like appeal to that. I think like WoWa said they're gonna try to do like more like male characters. I think they're aiming for like 25% male, 75% female, like rooster.
Yeah, I
And,
think
like,
the problem though is
people
that
really, What
I
about?
think the problem with male characters though is that like there's such a it's very hard to get a good male character because, like, at least for female characters, both guys, like what guys and girls like in female characters are very similar. But when it comes to male characters, what guys want in a male character,
it's much more diverse.
And what girls want in a male character are two completely different things, you know.
And even then, what girls want in like male characters can be different between one and another. So some of them likes the twins, and some of them likes the daddy characters. But I mean, it's not impossible. I personally don't mind some male characters here and there. I mean, obviously, like with my taste, I still prefer like, you know, more female characters. But like, I can see, I can definitely see the appeal of male characters. I definitely don't really like it if it's just all females. It doesn't feel realistic.
It doesn't
feel
if
as
it's just
immersive.
one gender.
Yeah, except in certain parts. See, like something like Nikke, it kind of makes sense because they managed to explain it in the lore. That's the thing. If they can find a way to explain it in the lore, I usually wouldn't really mind. For example, in Nikke's, I forgot what is the lore. I think it's because they're robots, so they're always made like it has to be girls or something like that.
Oh, really? Okay. I should play the. I want to play Nikke just because I heard the story is interesting, but
the story is good. I don't like the direction of the story.
Okay.
Like some of the decision that like the main character makes in the story kind of baffles me. Yeah, it's weird. It's a choice that I wouldn't usually make when I play like a story game. But like the storytelling is good, I think. The pacing and everything. And also you don't really need stamina to play. You just need like powerful enough character. Like the game doesn't have a stamina system. You basically just like have to have enough combat power to like push through the story.
Okay.
So it doesn't really, in a way, it doesn't really limit you. It limits you in terms of like trying to upgrade the character because like you gotta wait for like the resources and stuff. But like if you have the resources and like you have enough combat power, you can keep powering through the story.
Gotcha.
And they also like lend you like a max level character that you can use to like basically just free fight any like level, because like the level is so high, like they can like basically kills like every enemy in the combat. So Nikke I think is real good, but I think if they can make like a good explanation as to like why the game, I think in general it's just like as we said earlier when we were talking about the whole collab thing, it's just all about tying it together with the lore.
Definitely.
Yeah, and I think that's what games need to do: make good lores, and explain it.
Give us a reason to pull for the characters.
Yeah, and tells us the story properly. Because like I think appeal of a game for me is always like number one is for me the gameplay because it's a game, and number two is usually the story. What do you think? Do you focus more on the gameplay, or do you focus more on the story?
I'm definitely more of a story guy myself because I like like the lore and everything, and like exploring and like seeing a world and everything and what they have to offer. Like,
no. Obviously, I'm also a story guy, but like I'm saying, like I think this is the easiest usually like way to like kind of like differentiate people. Do you think visual novel is a game?
Do I think it's a game?
Yeah. People call it a game. I personally don't think it's a game.
I could think it's a game, yeah. Because you are making choices and stuff throughout there, and you're unlocking stuff, and there's things to... Like, I think it's a game.
See, I don't think it's a game. I think it's an interactive book. Because, like, there is no gameplay. You make choices, but, I can also make choices in a choose-your-own-adventure book.
But it
doesn't make it a game.
Well, if you turn it into a video game, that could be a game, right? Like...
No, even a visual novel. Like if I'm playing Necopara, I don't think I'm playing a game. I think I'm reading a book.
But it's so like an experience and stuff that you're going through and you're making choices and which girl you end up
it's
with.
It's an experience that I'm going through, but like I regard it as like watching a movie or like reading a book. It's not the same as playing. The whole thing about games is that like I am interacting with the game, like in more like closely, like more than just like.
But you are changing like the path and everything, right? Like because most visual novels have more than one path to it, and there's different routes, and it's like
I said, and like so is like a choose your own adventure book. I'm still reading a book, though.
And I like there are choose your own adventure like video games and stuff out there, so it's like I think that is still perfectly fine, like, and especially when you get to like because. What about like other like very linear games, right? Like people sometimes don't like those because it's very
like for example, like a linear. Let's see what a linear game.
Mm-hmm.
See, game offer multiple. I think for me, game is something that is like an entertainment that offers multiple aspect of like interactiveness. So like you move your own characters, you interact, you choose your own interactions, you fight the enemies on your own turn with your own skill, like for example like aiming by myself, like moving, like hiding in the specific spot myself. Like if the only thing that I do in the game is click, read the text, click again, read the text, is that not like reading books?
What do you think about some of the walking games then, right? Have you seen those, or like with the games where you're just kind of walking around and experiencing what's going on?
Walking simulators?
Yeah. Like, do you consider those games? Or?
It's most of the time, it depends on like how much of the aspect. Because I know I have some games that is like literally you just walk.
Right.
You don't press interaction. You don't explore anything. You're not playing like a puzzle, like detective game where like you have to find the hints and stuff like that. That's like, I personally don't think it's a game. I think it's the same as me walking outside. It's just I'm doing it with a keyboard and mouse instead of like actually walking outside.
Yeah, I've seen those too, and I would agree. Like if you're just kind of going from one thing to another, but
yeah, but if it's something like I think a game like this disappearance of like I don't know what's the game called in like Steam, like Edith Finch or something like that. Let me see. Disappearance of Ethan Carter or something like that. I know like it's a walking simulator where you get to like trying to find like hints of someone's death basically.
Oh, that sounds pretty cool.
Vanishing of Ethan Carter. See, that's like a walking simulator in a way, but you also like a detective game because like you can explore hints, look around the places, look around the hints and stuff like that. I think that's a game because there's more interactive to it. Interactiveness. But I think if it's like a Nekopara, like, there's a it's you can call it same as like linear games, but like even in linear games
have
like what was that?
Have you ever played the Walking Dead games or?
No, never.
By Telltales, like, because those are also very much essentially visual novels, but they have a 3D model, and you can sometimes walk around a little bit in it, like.
I think I think that. I guess Telltale's kind of blended way better because they gave you multiple options. It's more than 2 options, right? Usually. Visual novels sometimes are usually like 2 options in visual novel, usually.
Depending on the game, yeah.
But like Telltale, most of the time it's like 3 to 4 options. Oh, do you want to save this? Do you want to save her? Do you want to save him? Or do you just want to run away and leave them both like dead? Or do you want to like sacrifice yourself and run forward and like, have both of them escape, I think it's definitely blurry, but I think for me something like visual novel, like if it has a genre like visual novel, usually most of the time it's just reading books, except you're clicking instead of like turning the pages. And that's I think like it's different than a game, because in a game usually the games that I play, offers more gameplay. That's why it's called a game. That's why I think it's called a game.
And maybe that's just it, where it's like I've played other games that are very, that would have a little bit more of the stuff that you're talking about, right? But then they also have a lot of story stuff in it, so it's like it's essentially like a visual novel. So it's like,
I mean, I've played games that has a lot of stories too. Like Metro, for example, is based on like literal novels, so like the story aspect is really strong. Like I think even like the writer of the novel
how
takes
do they
part
tell
in like.
it in?
So, it's kind of like slight narrative. Like so, for example, like you kind of experience the part. Like it's kind of hard because like the writer of the novel in Metro actually joins in the development team when making the game. So like the first game, I think Metro 2033, is like a full adaptation of the game of the book. But like the second game, like Metro Last Light, it's kind of a book and a continuation of the story of the book. So it's half, it's half adaptation. It's half like what the story how the story continues. So in a way, if you read the book, you can kind of know the story, where the story is going, but like the ending part of like the Last Light is like something new because like he's trying to continue his story from the game. And like the game still have like that part where like they have like narrative story where they tell you, oh, what's going on, what's the perspective of the character, but like it's a different experience than the books, because I think the book is less combat and the game has more combat.
I wonder. We need to get you playing, I think, some more turn-based games or strategy games. Because I think you'll find that the storytelling in those can be very similar to, I think, visual novels. And maybe that's where my thing's coming in and why I can see them more as games.
But when you play turn-based game, like JRPG games, for example, like it's a lot of turn-based and then visual novel in the terms of storytelling, right?
Yeah.
How they usually deliver it. It's kind of like, imagine like if it's like Honkai Star Rail, well, like you got the combat and then you got visual novel part where like you talk, or like something like ZZZ, where like the conversation part is kind of like basically like a comic or like a visual novel.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, you got combat.
Right,
I think that's a game because it's a whole package, right? If you only have the visual novel part, the storytelling part, without the combat and everything, the exploration, the walking, the grind, that's not a game.
Yeah, actually, that's a good point. You should play Doki Doki Literature Club. That might be a game that you might like.
I think it's kind of like a book, like Doki Doki, I think, in a way. Except the book has like multiple ending where you get to like repeat the stuff until you reach Monica. It's a book version of Nier Automata where you get to like read it multiple times and it changes the ending slowly. But I think Doki Doki has some part where you have to do puzzles and stuff, right?
Yeah.
Where
but,
like
but
you got
a lot of visual novels will have
a lot of
mini games in them too. Like, I think it's it's probably just a different thing. Like,
I mean, it's definitely a mix, a real mix. But I think for me, that's how I would classify between games and visual novel. Like visual novel for me is like, it's literally called visual novel for a reason, because it's mostly reading. I mean, like if it's not different than a game, then they would just call it a game and not a visual novel.
Well, no, because it's like a type of game, right? So it's giving you a category of what it should be, kind of like how first-person shooter and everything exists, or like turn-based RPGs, right?
Yeah, but like when you call something, like when you call a game, when you call Call of Duty, you call it a game. You don't, you can call it an FPS, but you also like. Calling it a game is fine, like, but for visual novel, most of the time when you're trying to explain it to your friend, you would say it's a visual novel.
Well, yeah, but like you describe that as a game, right? Like you wouldn't, like when you're going to Call of Duty, you would say it's a first-person shooter, right? Not a game may not be the first thing that you would say, right? For that.
Yeah, but I think like if. I think like when you're trying to describe like a visual novel, usually you wouldn't say play, usually. Would you?
What do you mean? Like, how would you?
Like, if I'm playing COD, I was like, yeah, I'm playing COD tonight.
Mm.
If I'm playing Neko Power, I don't know call it play. Like, for me, I wouldn't call it play.
What would you use instead?
I would like read or like watch. Because I don't really feel like I'm playing. That's what makes it different for me. I don't feel like playing because like I'm still listening to a story. Like for example, like something
experiencing
like
the game,
I'm experiencing the story. I am not experiencing a gameplay, I guess. That's how I see it. I have this conversation with my friends all the time.
Yeah.
Because like he really likes visual novel. He's like a full-on weeb. And like I always try to like find like, is there like a right answer to this? Because like I don't know, like, there must be a reason they call it gameplay, right? That means like the game has to play. And like, I don't think when you do that with visual novel, I don't think you're really playing.
I guess it depends on what your definition of play is, right? Like, because you're so interacting with it, right? And the game doesn't move on its own.
Well, if just purely interacting with it is like it can make it turn into like a game, then reading book a gameplay, because like you're technically interacting with the book, you're turning the page, and then
but
like,
a book wouldn't be necessarily on let me try to think, because it's like when I think about that, like
so like if like for example, if like how people would do with books usually is that like in visual novel you have different options for different like routes, right? And in books you just do what if scenarios. So if I read like what if scenarios instead, does that mean I'm interacting with the story because I am choosing the ending that I wanted?
Yeah, like sort of like how like with D&D or whatever those types of games are, the tabletop games, right? Like those are essentially just books and scenarios that like you're reading through and you're taking people through on an adventure, but the choices and stuff that people do with it is what
that what makes it the gameplay, right?
Right. And the same thing so happens with the visual novel when you're making choices or you're going through things there.
But
like,
does that mean like if I'm reading a comic and I don't like the ending, so I choose like I bought an what if book, does that mean I'm playing with the story because now I'm changing the ending to what I like? It's technically the same. It's like picking a route basically, right? Like if it's a romance
I'm not sure
novel,
I get it with the comic example there, but
like for example, like if I have an anime or like a novel, a visual novel, right? No, not a visual novel, like a light novel, and then like the MC is supposed to be with girl A in the ending,
right.
But like I don't like it, so I bought the book where like the author made like like what if ending, and like they ended with the girl B.
Right.
Does that mean I'm playing because like now I don't like this ending, so I'm choosing a different ending? Does that make it a play? Because now I'm interacting with the story, right? I'm choosing the story that I like.
I would think so, yeah.
Because I don't think it is a gameplay. At least I don't see the play in it.
Yeah, it's hard to say. Like, and I don't think you can say like if it's not something that you're into, like I don't think that's a bad thing either. You know, I think it's kind of like
R said, if you use a book as an example, the flipping of the book is in the game, but the imagination and immersiveness of it is what makes it a game. That being said, none of those imagination get visualized. So you're saying reading a book can also be gameplay. See, then that means okay, like I can kind of understand R's point, because if I read, so basically what they're trying to say is like, if I'm reading a book and then I'm imagining my own scenarios, me imagining it is a gameplay. It's a gameplay in my mind. Visual novel is basically me doing that, but like someone else is doing that for me. Someone else is imagining scenarios for me to experience.
I don't know. Can you say your imagination though is game? Like, I don't know about that.
I mean, you can, because like people say, I'm playing scenarios in my head, right?
Yeah, but that's
when people
not
try
really
to imagine
part of
things.
Yeah,
but then it wasn't. It's not the media anymore, right? Because now this is
right,
like
but
this
then,
is
like,
my own.
anything could
I'm
be,
playing with my own.
like,
I'm playing with my
'cause-
own thoughts instead of the book.
right. Because I feel like the reason why I wouldn't consider a book is because of the medium in which it's told, right? But like where I'm trying to think is like, okay, but if I were to buy like an ebook or something, would that make it a game? And I don't think that's necessarily true either.
Yeah,
but,
no, yeah. See, this is an interesting like philosophical.
Yeah, like where
concepts
exactly
that
does
we
the
can
game
explore.
start and everything?
Yeah, when does it start becoming a game, and when does Because like the reason the reason I keep debating it with my friend is because like I keep telling him like for a game, gameplay is the most important because it's a game. There's a reason it's called gameplay. And he was always like, no, like story is like number one, like everything else doesn't matter. And I'm like, but like if the game is bad, I don't think people would care about the story. People would just go to YouTube and like watch the story.
Depends. Yeah.
Like if you know a game is bad, like the gameplay is insufferable, but the story is really good, would you really go through the game, or would you just like try to find like a story recap somewhere?
I as someone who has gone through the games with terrible gameplay but amazing story, I would be the one that would go through that. But because like it's not the same when you read it, like when you just catch the stuff on like YouTube or something, right? Because it's not you experiencing it, so like your choices will be slightly different.
But why would you want to experience the bad gameplay? Because like the only good thing is the story. Why not just experience the story?
I don't know. It just kind of depends, and it feels like it's more like it's something that I put into, right? Like you connect with, I don't know, like maybe just a bit of stubbornness, right? Like
Maybe
whereas, like since I was putting in,
because that's the kind of debate I have, because I was like, if you want to make a game, you gotta make the gameplay good. Like, I think like the whole debate is like when we were when me and him was talking about like Genshin versus Wuba, because I keep telling him like Wuba is like, in terms of gameplay, Wuba is like better, and like he was like, but the story in Genshin is so much better, and that's why like people keep playing. And
that's okay. That I would argue if he thinks the story in Genshin is great, but that's it has good ideas, but it hasn't executed on those very well.
Yeah, I mean, I would say that I would agree with it. I mean, I haven't played the story that far, but like that's how I feel so far. And like it feels like a slog, don't you think? If you're playing a game that you know has a good story, but the gameplay part is bad, so you're playing the game now. So you're pushing through for the sake of the story.
I guess, what is your definition of a bad gameplay? It would be.
I think it's when. It's gonna be kind of like subjective, right?
Yeah, because it's like,
but like
Oh, go ahead.
I think it depends on the expectation you have and the games that you have experienced. For example, if I've had experience with like Devil May Cry, so like when I play Wuba, it feels right. Like, you know, the combat is snappy and stuff like that. And like you're playing like something like I don't know, can you like dodge and block in like Breath of the Wild? Like Zelda?
You can definitely block and everything, and
yeah,
dodging sort of like you can, like I don't remember if there was an actual like like there's not like a dodge where you get like iframes or anything, but
you just run,
you can avoid
away
it.
from because like that's what the expectation people had that I had when I was playing Genshin, right? Because this game is like they cloned Breath of the Wild gameplay with their own story and like the anime aesthetic. But the gameplay is like Breath of the Wild getting kneecap, because like you cannot block. Like blocking is an exclusive skill of a certain characters.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about the slow motion.
You wanna run away. If you wanna run away from the attack, yeah, sure, you can do that. Except the stamina bar doesn't really increase like it did in the Breath of the Wild, because like you can keep going with the Breath of the Wild, right? But like the stamina in Genshin back then was ass. You dodge 2 or 3 times, you out of stamina, you're getting wrecked. So the gameplay doesn't fill the expectation.
Interesting. Because I always feel like bad gameplay is when it comes down to how like frustrated the games make you, right? So it's like
that makes me frustrated, because I came in like, Breath of the Wild, you can dodge, you can, at first you're kind of slow, but then you build up and you become better. But in Genshin, the better part comes from having more money. Because the convenience comes from having different characters, right? It's not that like your one character can do like, you can block and everything like that. No, if you wanna block, get this Zhongli with shields.
So like from that point, I wouldn't say is that necessarily like, so like I think like the bad gameplay would be like if they put in some really hard bosses that you couldn't end up beating or something, or like, so like for instance, like when Genshin first came out, like there were some stuff that was very hard to do, like some of the like water stuff to just even advance your character, right? And so like that's where it's like that could be kind of bad gameplay, or
that's
frustration.
That's a bad gameplay too.
It's like
the problem. I think the problem is Genshin is that like they listen to your suggestions and then they put it into a character.
But like but even outside of like just Genshin and stuff like games,
or like if they're doing it in a bad way, if it's just straight up not optimized. For example, you press dodge, the character animation dodges, but you still get hit. But that's like a bad gameplay. Because like you press, your skill doesn't matter, because like now the game is screwing you.
But it's like that's the point that I kind of wanted to bring up though, when it comes to like the bad gameplay but good story stuff. Because it's like there have been games where it's like the combat can be frustrating, or like there's some aspect of the gameplay that can be bad, but it's never bad enough to where like it makes me want to stop, unless the game just doesn't work, right? And so like I feel like so like that's where it's like for me, like a good story can help push you over that, and it's like as long as it's not so frustrating that you just instantly want to like break your controller or anything, then you're fine. But so that's where it's like I can kind of agree with your friend that story can be a bit more important than gameplay there, but because like a good story can keep you into a game, but
a good gameplay can keep you into the game without the story at all. You can have zero story, and like if the gameplay is good enough, most people would play it.
But like there's a time limit to that, though, I would say, right? Like how long can you?
I mean, there's the time limit to story too. If the story ends, no one's gonna play.
Right. But you can make like an what is it, JRPGs are like 40, 80 hours long games, and but like just playing a game purely off of gameplay, like how many hours do you think you could get just off of that without any sort of like PvP or anything attached to it?
Well, first of all, like PvP definitely like plays into that part. It's less story, more gameplay. Something like Doom can definitely sell people without like, you don't even need to understand the story.
Right.
You just come in and you shoot demons. Some people just like straight up something like that. Even gacha games, some people come in without paying attention to the story for the gameplay. I don't know why those people play it, because like I think gachas.
Really?
I don't know anyone who. I don't know why anyone would play gacha games and then skips all the cutscenes.
Right.
Struggle in the combat, fails to win the combat because they didn't pay attention to the story. and then complains about the game. But like, yeah, I think that, you know, I think gameplay can sell a game. Your what you said also makes sense. You know, if the story is good enough, some people are willing to suffer through it. But like the difference is that like at least if it's a good story and a bad gameplay, I can just go to YouTube and do it. If it's a good gameplay and a bad story, I cannot go to YouTube and like replace the experience. That's why like I think the gameplay should be good, because like the gameplay is the part that cannot be replaced by the YouTube.
But I guess to me it's just YouTube isn't, it's still not that,
it's still not the full experience.
Yeah, it feels different. Like even if you were to get all the cutscenes, because there's a lot of stuff that could happen in between. There's essentially you're gonna have to watch somebody else play a game, and I guess one of the reasons why I don't always watch live streams is because it's like I always kind of prefer to play the game myself. Right?
Yourself. Yeah.
It's kind of like sports, right? Like I'd rather play the sport myself than watch a bunch of professionals play it. But
that's fair. That's why I just don't watch it at all. If I want to, if I want to see soccer, I'll play soccer. I'll never do it, but like,
Right.
But I still think at least it's viable to like replace the story. Like, it's not gonna be 100% the same, but you can do that. I don't think you can replace a gameplay. Like if I'm watching you playing Genshin Impact, it doesn't replace me playing Genshin Impact. If I'm watching if I'm watching you playing Genshin Impact because like I want to like know the story, I would never touch the game otherwise. I get like what 50%, 60% of the experience, or like however many percentage of like the way you do things, right? If you're playing the game like super completionist and like you play through like every route and stuff like that, and like I would get like the majority of the experience. Maybe I don't get like the experience of like choosing the decision, because maybe you make the choices that I wouldn't make. Like if in Baldur's Gate you killing certain characters and I wouldn't do that, then like it's a different experience. It's not gonna be the full experience because that's not what I was gonna do. But at least I know the story, right? But if I want to experience like the Baldur's Gate, like playing the Baldur's Gate and like going around the town and stuff like that, like I cannot experience that. Like I have to experience what you experience. I guess Baldur's Gate is the wrong thing, because like people play it for the story.
But like even just like going through the story, right? People could still experience it differently. So
yeah.
But yeah,
but you get to experience the story. I think that's what I'm trying to make. I think Baldur's Gate is not the best example, I guess.
No. Yeah.
The game leans heavily into the story, in my opinion.
But your thought process is like the same thing for, like, because I remember Super Smash Brothers, right? Like the latest one, they really stopped doing a lot of story because the director and stuff got upset that people were just going to YouTube to catch all the cutscenes and everything. But I still think that there's value in still, even if they're on YouTube, I think that's just more for you to go back.
Yeah, they just have more value.
Yeah.
At least you go and look into it.
But it's like,
people can look at stories in the YouTube and then stop it there. If you're looking for gameplay in a YouTube, usually it's because you want to do it in your own game. Like, I'm gonna watch how this person glitched through Elden Ring bosses and like skips whole story and everything like that,
and got world first in like under 5 minutes or something.
I think the fastest one is like 11 minutes or something.
Yeah, it's crazy. Like I've seen some, like you said, they literally like glitch through the floor and every.
I watched streamers play through the game. I read spend time experiencing myself than with them than myself. Oh, so R is like the kind of person that like values like hanging out with friends and like experience, like they value the time spent with the people and like less so about the story of the game. So that's you're valuing different things basically. But like, I think what I'm trying to say, yeah, I think like sequel got.
I think
what
that
I'm
that's
trying to say.
probably, honestly, after all that rambling, that's probably just what it is, right? Everyone kind of values different things.
Yeah,
so-
everyone just want to experience different things.
Hmm. And so that's
No,
where it's
I'm
hard.
gonna still
'Cause
think
it's-
I'm right.
well,
It's
because
like, you know,
in a similar way, this also kind of reminds me of the whole debate about like, is like Avatar: The Last Airbender anime or like what people consider to be anime or not, right? So
I think it's
and
just where they came from, right?
that you see, I hate that definition of anime.
and like the art style that they use. Anime is just it's this.
I think it's more of like a
specific-
style,
distinct-
yeah,
yeah, distinct art
more
style.
than a. Hmm.
And like if it's more Western, more like roundy, and like everything looks like, you know, like every character looks like kids, like Teen Titan Go, you know, that's probably like I would never call that an anime. Like the old Teen Titans, I can call it an anime,
Mm-hmm.
like, you know. But like the new Teen Titans, like the one Teen Titans
No,
Go,
yeah, definitely not.
I would never call that an anime in like 100 years.
Would you call Panty and Stockings an anime or?
Like, oh, I think that's the one that looks really westernized, right? Panties and
Yep.
stockings.
Mm-hmm.
I think I would call that cartoon just because
Okay.
of like how it
You
looks.
see, I would as well, but I think a lot of people would just call it an anime because it just came from Japan. But I feel like the feel, like it's definitely the style, right? Like you said.
Yeah,
that
the
really
vibe
depicts
and
it.
the style that you
Mhm.
get is not coming from an anime. Like Powerpuff Girls on cartoons,
Yep.
but like there's a Powerpuff Girls that like looks like anime.
Yeah. They
I
made
forgot which
one.
one.
I don't. I never saw it, but
forgot
I did
which
see like
one.
things about it for.
Yeah, but they had the one version where it looks more like anime.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Reminds me of like freaking like Pokemon like art style, but like yeah. So it's definitely like the style that and they end up using. You're correct. I completely
Hmm.
agree with you.
But yeah.
So
It's
yeah, I
like,
guess it's just people definition of like the stuff
Hmm.
that they're experiencing.
Yeah, because there's never, like when it comes to these things, there's always like there's no hard definition, but it's up to the individual, right, to see where they go. Kind of like with art and everything. So yeah.
See, but I'm still curious on the whole debate.
On which one? The
Like
visual.
the whole, like the whole game and like
Hmm.
gameplay and story and like visual novel. Is it a game or is it a book?
Mm-hmm. That's always a good thing, and you have to let me know if you hear any more interesting takes on it.
I probably should. Yeah, I love discussing things with him. It's just like he lives in my
Hmm.
country and I, you know, and
Yeah,
he's
yeah.
got his own work and I don't. I got different time and everything, so we rarely talk.
Hmm.
How sad, but yeah. I think that's all for today. Honestly, I think we're
Okay.
almost like 3 hours, so like it's not
Yeah,
like
yeah,
we're
yeah.
that
So
far
we're
off from
good.
like the usual time. We're probably just ending it a bit early.
Mm-hmm. Like I said,
Hey,
we could
maybe-
both still
maybe
probably
we
use use the rest.
Yeah, I'll probably use it to eat my dinner.
Oh, you still haven't had dinner yet? Uh-oh.
I ate lunch pretty late. I ate lunch at like 3 or something, so
Okay.
it's fine. But yeah, like next time we talk again, it's probably gonna be like maybe like 2 weeks from now or something.
Yeah.
And by that time, I'm probably gonna come with like new experience and stuff. I personally gonna be like advertising Woowa again probably because I'm probably gonna go through 1.4.
I'll try to get through it too, and then maybe we could talk more in depth about it and see
Sure.
is it actually getting better, or is it all just cons hype?
I think it's getting better, but you know, getting better. Like some people don't like it. Some people had made valid criticism. I think the valid criticism that I heard is that like the story has been more like the character story is really good.
Mm-hmm.
So the characters is ever really good, but they never. It kind of falls into the same trap as like Genshin Impact so far. Is that like everyone gets a character development except the MC, which is us.
Okay.
You know, the MC is still the same old MC, like in Genshin, for example, the same old MC that tries to find his sister or like her brother, and that's it.
Right.
And like, well, but like the difference is that like this game still has time to fix it, I guess, before it gets too far and like it gets too convoluted to like fix. We'll see. Hopefully I don't disappoint sequel. You know, I've been hyping it so far, and like, what if like sequel hates it and like, he just hates the game entirely now because like I hyped it too much? It's kind of like Cyberpunk.
No,
Oh, it's gonna be so great. It's gonna be game of the year.
Actually, I've heard Cyberpunk's gotten a lot better. That's
a
one
lot
game I want
better,
to get back into
like
too.
2 years after.
Yeah.
when it was first released, like
No,
the
but yeah,
compilation
definitely
that
when
I've
it
seen
was-
in the in the YouTube is literally bug compilation, like how the character floats, crashes through the ground, like the car float to the sky, texture doesn't load and stuff like that. So yeah, hopefully I don't overhype it on sequel, guys.
No,
Pray
you'll-
for me.
You'll be good. You'll be good.
He's gonna be like, Con, you get my hopes so high, and then I was let down so much. We're not friends anymore. No more rambles, like random rambles.
You ruined everything, God.
I trusted you. You were the chosen one.
You were
All
supposed.
right.
Wuo was supposed to save us all.
Not join them. In Genshin, the character stories are so bad. It's usually when more. I guess appearance. Oh, I think I heard that complaint about Arlecchino's quest line is that you meet Arlecchino towards the end of her quest line.
Oh right, yeah. It's not even about her.
I remember
just-
that complaint. I was like, what the fuck? And the whole point is that I want to hang out with her. The fuck you mean she shows up toward the end? But yeah.
Yeah, I know I need to go get some more water soon. So
Sounds good.
So
We're
good.
gonna end it here. So
Yep,
thank
so
you so
thanks,
much
everybody.
to everyone who's watching.
mm-hmm.
I appreciate you all for stopping by and hanging out with us and like talking with us,
Yep.
listening to us yapping all night.
Yeah, it was a good comeback after both of us being off for a couple of weeks. So,
I know. I'm so glad.
but yeah, thank you everybody. I'll catch you all again next time. Bye.
Bye.